Boo, boo. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get my camera on. I can't believe I didn't even turn my camera on. Wow. Is this the first time I've ever streamed before? What's going on? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, come on. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Hold on. Oh, that's definitely not it. Wow. Wow. Look, hey, that's what happens. When you screw around, that's what happens. Welcome to Order 42. I'm Rob. No, it's not my first time. But hey, how are you guys doing? Look, I mean, Ninjinzu coming in hot. We got Gamer Tamer 360 was here, like 104 minutes early. I Nightmares, Ricky, Ninjinzu, of course, Ninjinzu again, Bucho, Moi Noir, Cosma, Ted Milich. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. And yeah, look, we got a vote going on right now. We have Chocolate Eclair is number one. Well, I mean, it's the first one. It's not number one right now. You got the raspberry, white chocolate cheesecake, and then the one that you haven't seen before, strawberry swirl. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how any of these are going to be because I've never tried these before. That's what makes these fun. But this is probably going to be the last one for a bit because I have a lot of liquid that you've already seen. You've already seen. So I kind of need to make my way through some liquid and buy some more before we do another one. But this is going to be the last poll for a while. Okay? So, yeah. You guys pick. And right now, Strawberry Swirl is winning. It's winning. So, Ninjinzu says, the Shogun season finale was awesome. Fallout was also amazing. We'll talk about Fallout a little bit later. But Shogun, I've watched all the way up until the last episode. And of course, today I've been busy doing stuff. So I haven't had time to watch Shogun. But I will be watching Shogun as quickly as possible. And of course, The Bad Batch. If you've been watching that, that's heating up right now. I know some people are like, hey, Star Wars is poop now. Well, I like it. So there you go. Take that. So how are you guys doing? What else do we have here? Let's see. Triumphant firstness. Yes, Ninjinzu got the firstness. I mean, again. But yeah, look, here's the thing. First time stream. Hey. I just forgot to turn it on. Here's the thing. I turned my camera on like 4 times because my image that I kept picking for my thumbnail, they kept getting fucked up, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I don't usually curse this early in the stream, but yeah, it kept getting messed up, like really bad. And I'm like, I gotta fix this. So I had to keep turning it back on, and then I'm like, it got messed up again. And part of the reason is because I was converting some files that I got from the internet. Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. It's not that crazy, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I want to see this. There's no other way to see it. So I'm going to download it. So that's what I did. Anyway, Strawberry Swirl over an hour ago. Well, there you go. 3 Body Problem last night. That was pretty damn good. Ted, man, I got to tell you, man, 3 Body Problem is one of those shows that makes you think, is this sort of like a soft disclosure thing with the, the UAP UFO thing? Because man, there was some ideas in that were awesome. And I will say another thing. I came up with another idea. I haven't told anyone. The only person I've told is my wife this idea. I got another idea for a story. And I think this one would be this would be something that I would work on and craft and make as good as possible and then sell it. Because there's no way that someone would give me the money to make this movie, because it's a big movie, but it's a big idea, but I think it's freaking awesome. And I thought of it last night. I woke up this morning going, that sounds good. That sounds really it's like right up my alley. So just think about what you would think, what would be up Rob's alley. That's what this is about, man. It's cool. So just saying, look, hey, story ideas is good, because then maybe I can, I don't know, make a little bit of money on doing this, but we'll see. But look, hey, how are you guys? Let's see. 3 Body Problem. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. That's one where if I didn't have so many things to watch on my watch list, I'd probably watch that one again, because it was really good. It's sad there probably won't be a season 2 for Shogun. Ninjinzu, right. And what's weird is, I don't know how I didn't know this, but the original Shogun from 1980 with Richard Chamberlain, Toranaga, right? Who is played by who I'm talking about in the new one. I can't remember. I'm going blank on his name. Shogun. Why wouldn't you put his name first? Why would you not put his name first? Hiroyuki Sanada. That guy, I love that guy. That guy has been one of those actors that's just been awesome in so many different movies for a long time. So the fact that he gets to, actually help produce this thing and really run this thing, Shogun's awesome. And yeah. But I didn't know the original 1980 Toranaga was played by none other than Toshiro Mifune. Toshiro. Or Toshiro. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. If it's Toshiro or it's Toshiro. Pretty sure it's... I don't know. I'm not Japanese, so I don't know how to pronounce it. All I know is I'm a huge fan. You know that. I love Kurosawa. Seven Samurai. Amazing. Rashomon. Hidden Fortress. Throne of Blood. Dude. Yojimbo. Come on. If you haven't seen Yojimbo, you need to. If you're a fan of Westerns, right? If you love, say, The Magnificent Seven or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, yeah, you need to watch Yojimbo. Of course, you need to see Seven Samurai too. But Yojimbo, I mean, you want to know why Clint Eastwood was such a badass in those movies? Toshiro did it first. He did it first. So, just saying. Anyway. Was just in the middle of watching a crazy ass horror movie. When Evil Lurks. You would like it. You know what? We got to put it on the list then. When Evil Lurks. What was the one? Oh, Talk to Me. Talk to Me is the one that somebody said, Iconic, actually. I don't know if he's here. He told me to watch that one. That's on the list too. When Evil Lurks. Carbonite. By the way, hi. How's it going? Good to see you. Uh, there's so many movies on the list. And I'll just say this. Next week, the list will grow an insane amount. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Uh, Cold in the morning, warm during the day. Well, Cosma, I'm hoping that you're enjoying yourself in there. Rob like poop? Rob like poop? Like poop? What are you talking about, Shozama? Hi, Shozama. And by the way, Shozama, I got some pickups that I think you might, at least a couple of them, you'll enjoy. The rest of them, I don't know. Not everybody's into books, okay? Not everybody's into the books like I am. I'm a book guy. I mean, I love my books. You know, you can't. I don't get a movie to watch. I'm reading a book. I love books. So there's some books on the list there. So chocolate and strawberry swirl got a tie. So how do you break the tie? Well, it's not over yet. There's only 12 votes, and right now, Chocolate Eclair is actually in the lead. Chocolate Eclair's in the lead right now with 42% of the votes. The thing is, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Chocolates, not always great as an e-liquid, but when they're good, they're awesome. The problem is, if there's some of them that taste good, but they don't smell good, which means that April will basically just no, I can't vape it in the house. She will absolutely ban me from vaping it in the house. What's wrong with my face? Why can't I talk? I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I would actually like Chocolate Eclair to win. I really don't, honestly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me, but I'm excited. I'm excited to try any of them. And yeah, we'll have to do some mixing as well. So I'll have to at some point run out of here, get the scale, get the nicotine, all that kind of stuff, so we can do that. Oh, I guess I'll need to pull that up too. Oh man, I am not prepared. Not prepared for this stream. But that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. There it is right there. I've got it right here. Look at that. Bam. Let's back that out a little bit. Let's put this over here. We should be fine, guys. Okay? We'll be okay. But anyway, in the case of a tie, we would take one off. Whichever one is the loser, we would take that off and we would just do a new poll. I've had to do that before. It happens. Yes, the Scorpion actor. He may be good, but Pedro Pascal is the internet poppy. I mean, you're not wrong. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that you could throw a dart at a dartboard of all the movies that are coming out in the next however long, and it's either going to have Pedro Pascal or Giancarlo Esposito. One of the two will be in it. Maybe both. But you can guess, you can pretty much bet that a movie's going to have one of those two actors. They're in so many things. I mean, I like Giancarlo, but damn, he's in all the things. I don't know. Talk to me as well. Okay, see? Okay. I've got it. I've got it on the list. I just, like I said, it's as I come across things. There's even one on the list that Billy sent me. And it was actually one that, I don't know if you guys watched, this was a while back, but I was on Retro Wolf's channel, Matt. I was on his channel and we were doing a, overlooked movies or movies that no one talks about or whatever. And I can't remember what I picked, but I picked like they're definitely not mainstream movies, but they're not like, oh, I've never heard of that before. You know what I mean? Like they were picking some movies that I'm like, I've never heard of this movie. And yeah, Matt picked this movie and he said, you've got to see it. And then Billy sent it to me and I'm like, I don't know about this one. I don't know if I want to see a movie called Butt Boy. It's called Butt Boy. Yeah. Don't know if I need to see that. But hey, I guess yeah. Just speak like movie phone and you can talk just fine after that. Well, I mean, sometimes you trip over your words and all that stuff. Did you see that video I put on Discord about the benefits of nicotine? I did, Ted. But I did the thing about that video is that he goes off in some very he makes some great points and points that I agree with as far as like the benefits of nicotine. But then he goes off on all this very political, pandemic style stuff where I'm like, okay, whoa, dude, like pull it back a little bit because what? So I think that the message of that nicotine can actually be beneficial to some people is a message that needs to be put out there. I'm not exactly thrilled with the presentation. I watched the entire thing because there was some actually like some nuggets of truth there. But then, like I said, when you go off on these conspiracy theory type things, I'm like, whoa, dude, whoa. Like, I don't think that the government planned, let's start talking bad about nicotine in 1995 so that when the pandemic rolls around, people won't. I mean, come on. I don't think so. I don't think they're that forward thinking. No. I mean, it's even more simple than that, The government doesn't like things that take money out of their pockets. Vaping definitely takes money out of their pockets. And you could argue that if nicotine actually helps with symptoms of the thing that we dealt with for so many years or a couple of years there, right? You know what I'm talking about. If nicotine is actually beneficial to those people and can actually help prevent bad symptoms, sure, I could see how that could definitely be a thorn in their side. But no. Mm-mm. Because governments love smokers. Love them. Because they keep buying cigarettes and they keep having to go to the hospital. So, anyway. Ricky, hello. Good to see you. But yes, basically, here's the thing. If you don't use nicotine in any way, shape, or form, you probably don't need it. You're probably fine. But for those of you who do, smoke cigarettes, it may be beneficial for you to transition to a different medium of getting your nicotine, because smoking is, kills 480,000 people a year in just in the United States. So maybe you should transition to one of these safer, things. I'm not a doctor, but I do know that. So you know what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, this isn't a vape show. Not a vape show. But it's, there's vaping in it, but it's not a vape show. Anyway, Pedro Pascal and Kingsman with a lasso was awesome. I don't even remember that. Yes, Matt Walls. Hi. How's it going? And Rufus, I see you there too. Good to see you. But yes, the movie is literally called Butt Boy. I remember that stream. Butt Boy. Yes. Yeah, Carbonite. Yes. You said you liked the Star Wars show, and then you said some people say it's poop, so Rob liked poop. Oh, Rob liked poop. No, here's the thing. I mean, look, Star Wars is definitely had some problems in the last... When did Disney buy Star Wars or Lucasfilm? It's had some ups and downs. But Bad Batch is definitely an up. Andor is definitely an up. I would say that Rogue One, Solo, there's some ups. There's some ups there. That last season of Clone Wars, whoa. Yeah. So there's definitely some ups there. But, people don't pay attention to those things and they only watch the movies. Well, yeah, I can see why people are kind of down on Star Wars. But anyway, Butt Boy got a 71% both critics and audience on Rotten Tomatoes. 71, if you think about it, 71% of the people that watched Butt Boy enjoyed it. That's actually pretty good. That's not bad. Just saying. How much longer till vaping time? I mean, I don't know. We'll give it a few minutes, because right now there's a 3-way tie. So, yeah, may give it a little bit of time. A little bit of time there. Did we talk about Fallout? I'm actually watching a show and I love it. We are going to talk about Fallout here in a bit. Let's see. What do we want to go into first? Let's see. How about we talk about the week? The week that was, as you might remember, last Tuesday was the stream. Wednesday, I had to stop eating because I had a colonoscopy Thursday morning. Seen Dumb and Dumber? Jeff Daniels? Yeah, that was me on Wednesday. Whoa. Thursday went off without a hitch. No big thing. Had myself a breakfast burger from Whataburger on the way home. Whataburger, not Waterburger. Whataburger. Anyway, it was really good. And Thursday was pretty much spent. Look, this is what I did on Thursday. That's what I did. I watched Fallout. And you know what? It was good. It was really good. I was very impressed. I think it's probably maybe top 5 shows in the last 10 years or so. I mean, it's good. It's just a good show. It's just a good freaking show. I will say it's a little slow at times, but never to the point where I'm like, I don't want to stop watching this. So yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. Fallout. Can Emily fall into my pants? Because wow. Cosmo. Wow. Why would you want someone in your pants? Are you getting the Clones of Bruce Lee collection from Severin Films? Spencer, hi. Probably not. I've seen a few of those movies and nah, not my thing. There's a lot. Man, if we're talking martial arts films, I've already got the first 2 Shawscope Arrow collections. And I've had my eye. I will get back to Fallout. I've had my eye on the collections that Shout Factory has been doing. And they're very expensive. But I had an offer that I couldn't refuse. There was a deal, there was a sale going on. I actually had a coupon in my email, and all I had to do was agree that my wife could pay off her. There was something that she bought that was expensive, and I don't remember what it was. So basically, we both got to get a thing, or things in my case. She got to pay off her thing. I got to buy this, and we called it even. So basically what I'm trying to say is there's a crap load of martial arts films coming. They should be here next week. So buckle up, folks. There's some sets coming, and I am excited because not only am I excited, I'm glad that I was able to get these at such a good deal. Like, I actually, regardless of how much it cost, the deal that I got was crazy. It was like 40% off. That's what it ended up being, 40% off the original price. So I'm excited. But like I said, my watch list is holy crap now. So anyway, Huge pants to fit. He keeps his wiener in there. Some men want women in their pants, birds and the bees. I wouldn't want to have giant. I wouldn't want to have to buy giant pants so a woman can fit in mine. I mean, you have to coordinate your walking. That's a problem, you know? But hey, you know, I'm not spending extra money just because some lady. Ricky, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. But look, back to Fallout. Look, Fallout was awesome. Okay. I cannot recommend this movie or this show enough. It's one of those, to me, Fallout, Shogun. Um, I mean, look, great shows. Just two great shows. I really enjoy them. So Fallout. But the thing was is I did have some time, not just Thursday on my recovery day, but on Wednesday as well. And I watched some things. I got caught up on some things on my watch list. Yeah. I watched the Mallrats Blu-ray that I have from Arrow. And you might say, "Rob, isn't there a 4K available?" Yes. Yes, there is a 4K available of Mallrats. The problem is there was a sale. I bought Mallrats and The Last Starfighter on Blu-ray, and then like 2 weeks after I bought it, they announced the 4Ks. So I'm sorry, I don't need to upgrade those. I don't. No. Not since I bought these recently. But the thing is, I watched Mallrats again. It's been a long time since I watched Mallrats. And you know what? I laughed a lot. It's a good it's a good. It's a good. And it's gonna be 30 years old next year. Can you believe that Mallrats is gonna be 30 next year? Crazy. Crazy. I also watched Dersu Uzala. You might be going, what is that? Bless you, Rob, because I think you just sneezed. No, this is an Akira Kurosawa film from 1975, and it was made in the Soviet Union, in the then Soviet Union. And it won Best Picture or Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars in 1976. So yeah, it's a Kurosawa film I'd never even heard of, bought it, watched it, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's one of those that it starts off kind of like, is this the whole movie? And then there's an intermission, sort of, and then a time jump, and then things happen. And I gotta say, by the end of it, it made me there was a lot of heart in this show. So if you're a fan of Kurosawa and you've never heard of Dersu Uzala and you have the ability to watch this film, I would say, yeah, it won Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars for the Soviet Union, which was strange to me. And basically, if you want to know, I'll just tell you. Okay, so here's the thing: Kurosawa made film after film after film. They were pretty profitable, and then at some point in the late 60s, his films started to not do as well. And so Japan was like, we're not financing your crazy expensive movies. We're just not doing it. We can't do this. You're asking for way too much. And so he kept shopping things around, and he was like, he was depressed because he was like, I'm a filmmaker. I got to make films. The Soviet Union decided that they would finance this film, and they were like, yeah, pretty much anything you want to do. And Dersu Uzala is actually it's a well-known Russian tale, and it's based on a book. I can't remember the act, not the actor, but the character's name. There's a Russian soldier captain, I believe, right? Anyway, his book that he wrote back in the 20s based on this man Dersu Uzala and his relationship with him. It's a beautiful story. It really is a beautiful story. It is a little bit slow. I'm just going to say it's a little bit slow. And because the Soviet Union didn't use, say, Kodak film, they used their own version, or their the Soviet Union had like Kodak, um, a film manufacturer, wasn't quite up to the standards. So even at its best, it's not going to look as good as a movie made in 1975, say in America, using Kodak film. It's just not going to look as good. So there's even some strange color things that happen, and it almost looks like you've got your tint. You remember on your old TVs, you had your tint and your picture and brightness, right? And if you turn your tint just a little too far up, everybody starts looking orange. That's kind of what a lot of this movie looks like. It's kind of weird. And I was like, why does this movie look so bad? This is a Blu-ray, right? And they shot it on 70 millimeter, and it looks like this. Yeah, it's because they use this. I'm just gonna say it, inferior film stock. So it was to me, it was interesting. It was a whole, the story behind it was interesting. The story itself was interesting. So there you go. I got to watch Dersu Uzala. I got the imprint Blu-ray from a couple of years back with the slipcase and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool. And as a Kurosawa fan, I mean, I had to, right? The next movie I watched, the next movie on my list, The Fabelmans. Now, a schooner is a sailboat, stupid head. Right. Yeah. Mallrats is great. But this is one of those movies where I knew I wanted to watch it, but I'm like, I'm just not in the mood for it or whatever. So I just put it on the list and said, okay, I'm going to watch this movie eventually. So it came up and I'm like, okay, let's watch it. Within the first 20 minutes, I cried twice. And not like a sad cry, but a joyful, like Steven Spielberg. Look, I'm no Steven Spielberg. Okay? Let's just okay. The thing is though, the way that he visualizes the world, because I mean this is basically a, what do you call it? It's almost like a biography of himself, right? This is what my life was like, right? But he wrote it in a story, and there's some things that are dramatized for dramatical purposes, but the way that the wonder and the awe of movie making, I mean, Spielberg gets it. And some of the things that he did made me cry, almost, I don't know what you call it. Tears of empathy, tears of, I don't know, but it was like it just came out of me. And I'm like, this movie is great. The one thing that I will say, if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm saying here. Some of the scenes play very melodramatic, like almost overacted. And that took me out of the movie. There were some scenes that were great and with the same actors that were really great. And then all of a sudden there's this really melodramatic way that they talk. And it's like, this doesn't feel natural. This doesn't feel like, humans. This feels weird. It just feels strange to me. But that being said, when you're looking for it struck a serious chord with me. Yes, absolutely, Rufus. Absolutely. But I will probably say that I haven't laughed this hard at an ending in years. It's been years that I got joy. The ending is so great. And what's funny is it's absolutely true, because Steven Spielberg tells a story, and I'm just gonna, I don't know. Do I say the story? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I'll just say this. If you're a fan of movie making, the actual art of filmmaking and what it takes and what it does to you, and it almost infects you with this desire to do nothing else. The ending is just, it's almost like Inglourious Bastards, in the way that you're like, you're breaking rules here, Quentin, when you decide that you're going to kill Hitler. You break rules, right? Spielberg does a fourth wall break at the very end of this movie, that is, I love it. I love it so much, and I just was like, "You son of a bitch." I loved it. Um, Overall, I'd probably give the movie like a 3 stars. I didn't rate any of the other stuff, but it's good, but not great. But there are moments of it of pure just joy, movie making joy, and it was because of watching The Fablemans that I was watching Robert Meyer Burnett, and he said if you're into film and you're into filmmaking, you've got to watch Cinema Paradiso, which is also on the list. I haven't watched it yet. I got the Blu-ray or the 4K. The 4K? I think I got the 4K of it. I haven't watched it yet. That's on the list. But yeah, this movie is it's good. It's I'd say it's worth watching. So, yeah. So there you go. Now, here's the funny thing. I don't know. Melvor the Great. It's me, the real Melvor. Is it really the real Melvor? I'm not sure if it is the real Melvor. Someone that says I'm the real Melvor? Not sure. Not sure if that's you. But there was a strange connection between Fablemans and the next movie that I watched. Yeah. I finally watched Dune again. This is the limited steelbook collection, which is really nice, by the way. I think I've shown this off before. It's got 2 books, but the steelbook for Dune is really it's just a nice steelbook, and it just feels like a really solid package. Kind of like some friends of mine, really solid package. But anyway, yeah, here's the thing. Arrow Films, 4K collector's edition limited blah blah blah, right? Steelbook thing. Guess what? The 4K doesn't work. It doesn't play. You get about 40 minutes in and it just stops. It just freaking stops. So, on my personal account, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to Arrow and see if they'll do anything. Because this is about a year old. I bought it like a year ago and I still hadn't watched it. So maybe it's my fault, but I don't think so. This is definitely an issue with the quality of this 4K. There's no reason why it would not play. So I reached out. I've heard nothing. So I thought what we could do, or what I could do, and I'll do this later. I won't do this live. But maybe I should reach out to Arrow on Order 42 and see if I get it. I don't know. Hey, I do reviews for stuff, and I got this about a year ago. I still hadn't watched it. Maybe you can do something about this, Arrow Films. Maybe your quality control's not up to snuff. Sent me 3 or 4 different copies of 12 Monkeys because of audio issues. Yeah. How about you I don't know, help me out with this. But I'll tell you this. I went ahead, because I was invested at this point, it's 40 minutes in. I went ahead and watched the Blu-ray of Dune, finished the movie, and wow, it's still bad. The movie is not good. I'm sorry. That movie is barely comprehensible. The only reason that I knew what was going on is because I've read the book now. You know, I'd read the book and I've seen Dune Part 1 and Part 2, the new versions. This movie is not good. And man, there are actors that barely have anything to do. Sean Young has probably 5 words to say in the whole movie. Sting, I didn't remember this, but Sting's probably got 30 words in the whole movie. And I'm like, and there's so many things that are just barely explained. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that doesn't stop the fact that I paid for a 4K. I would like the 4K disc to work because it does look better. But hey, why don't we get caught up a little bit in the old chat there? I'm way behind. Let's see. I pay money for big sweatpants for Emily Blunt to be in my pants. Cosmo, you okay? By the way, speaking of hot pants, Stellar Blade comes out this Friday. So that's a thing. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. And it's not because I don't want to play it, because I do. I think the gameplay is actually really fun. But the thing is, I have so many things to do that I don't think I need to buy it right now. I'll buy it when it's on sale, you know? I don't need to pay $70 to go, hey, I have the thing. I haven't played it yet, but I have the thing. It's happened too many times. So anyway, need to finish it. Got 3 more episodes to go. I don't know what you're talking about. But whatever it is, I hope you enjoy the thing. You meant Fall Guy. Oh, gotcha. I've seen some trailers for those martial arts movies. The movies look awesome. Which martial arts movies? The ones on which ones? I'll tell you this. When it comes to martial arts movies, Shaw Brothers, they're real. I mean, complete honesty, they're real hit or miss. But when they hit, man, they're good. Like, they're really good. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, that may be my favorite Shaw Brothers movie. It's so good. It's such a good movie. And it's mainly because so many times they were like, okay, we got these actors. All right, let's try to figure out a script. You know, they didn't have scripts. And they just made stuff up. So, yeah. Know what else is awesome? Live action Yu Yu Hakusho on Netflix. Never heard of that one. Fallout is so good, it revived the game servers for Fallout 76. Yes, I've heard about that. CX404 is the bestest girl ever. Yeah. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega. Mallrats is such a good movie. I literally have a poster of it above my bed. It's such a funny thing too, because like when it came out, I knew nothing of, I don't think I knew who Kevin Smith was at that point when it came out, you know, in the theater. Because I didn't know about Clerks until a little bit later. I think I saw, in fact, I'm pretty sure I rented Clerks when I was working at Kroger with Billy, by the way. So that would have been, could have been 95, 96 era. I don't know. All I knew is I loved it. And it was in the old, the way that Kroger did their VHS rentals was that it was like not acrylic. It's like a plastic sleeve that goes over the VHS, and you kind of squeeze it at the bottom, and the tape will fall out. You remember those? Yeah, that's the way that they rented their movies, and they were on like, I don't want to show you the movies that I bought yet. Yeah. That almost fell. But it's like this, right? You know, they were kind of on the wall and they stuck out, you know? So it's kind of like here's the wall, flat wall, and they stuck out at an angle like this, right? It's kind of cool. But yeah, that's where I rented. Yeah. Anybody fans of those movies? Yeah. Exodus Gods and Kings in 3D, baby. That's actually I enjoyed this movie. I don't know, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it sucked. I liked it. I really liked it. I don't know. Street Fighter Collection? It was okay. I'm glad I watched them. But, and Dragon Slayer? Come on. Come on. This movie's great. Especially if you're a fan of practical effects and creature effects. Dude, the dragon in Dragon Slayer is so awesome. Same guy, Chris Wallace, who created the Gremlins. There you go. There's a little bit of information for you there. Game Boys 35. Wow. Wow. Deep into Kurosawa movies too. I've watched Ran quite recently, and I've yet to get around to Akiru, but it's on the shelf. Akiru is so good. I got mine up there. The only reason I wanted to watch that one is because I like the actor. The actor was in Seven Samurai, and he's been in some other films, and I'm like, I just like the actor, and it's Kurosawa. I mean, why not? Such a fantastic movie. It's a movie about, I don't even want to get into it, but it's an older gentleman and he finds his ah he finds his reason to live, and it's a beautiful movie. Beautiful movie. Kurosawa has so many movies I want to watch. Well, here's the thing. Look, hey, it can be a very expensive thing to get into Criterion and getting into, buying these. I buy a few here and there, and I did that for many years until I've gotten pretty much all the Kurosawa movies that I think that I need. There's some that I've just rented. Like Ricky will tell you about Redbeard. It's a movie that he likes, and it's Toshiro Mifune playing a doctor, right? He's a doctor, doctor, but it's set in that time period. Medical man, I don't know what you call him from then. But anyway, that's a movie I haven't seen. But a lot of Kurosawa's movies are available on Max. So if you sign up for Max for a month, you can watch a ton of Kurosawa films on Max. I mean, that's a good way to start. And then when those Criterion sales, come around, and you want to own, if you do want to own them, pick them up at, I was going to say half price. Criterion films are priced high. Okay, they're just priced way too high. So the only time to really buy them, unless you're just dying to own this movie or whatever, but I can't in good conscience buy a Criterion movie just off the shelf. Okay, let's just buy it. Oh, it's a $35 for, it's too much. I'd rather pay the $19.99 for a 4K, or I think what it ends up being $19.99 for Blu-rays and $24.99 for 4Ks. That's the time. So, but like I said, watch them on Max. Hidden Fortress is awesome. Great. What was the most recent Spielberg movie you'd seen before Fablemans? Have you seen The Post? I have. I own that movie digitally because it was on sale or whatever, and I said I haven't seen this. I need to see it. And I watched it. I was like, yeah, it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. I didn't see West Side Story. What was before West Side Story? I don't know. And I'm sorry if I went too far into the Kurosawa stuff, but man, Kurosawa is just so great. Not producer, director. Seriously, why would you put producer at the top? Fablemans, West Side Story, and it just I hate it when they do that. Darn burner. Made me lose my spot, you poop head. Okay, so probably Ready Player One. I haven't seen the BFG. I haven't seen West Side Story. Bridge of Spies, Lincoln, Warhorse, Tintin, Crystal Skull, Munich, War of the Munich. Munich is one of those just insanely good movies. Love that movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I wish they would release that in 4K. Munich is one of those movies that I wish, and Spielberg doesn't do commentaries, but I would love a commentary on Munich. Love it. There's so much. Oh, there's so much good stuff in there. War of the Worlds, Terminal, Catch Me If You Can. I mean, there's so many great movies, Spielberg movies. But yeah, so there's your answer from however long, 20 minutes ago. I don't know. Spielberg is a master of making you tear up. E.T. comes to mind. I get sappy watching that ending. Oh, dude, E.T. is one of those where as soon as, man, they get to the forest, I'm crying already. If I hadn't already cried, I haven't seen E.T. in many years. So I'm actually kind of curious. Would it affect me the same way? I didn't mean to close that. Oh well, it's no big deal. I think my last newest Spielberg movie I saw was probably Warhorse, and that was when it came out in theaters. Probably my least favorite of his movies. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. Yeah. Crying is for chumps. Melvor. Look, I'm one of those people. I have empathy, and I can feel the characters whatever, and I empathize. I have empathy for the characters. So yeah, usually I feel a lot of what the characters feel, and it's weird, but there you go. Uh, the stains will become a warning. I'm sorry to say it, nothing is going to replace that version of Dune to me. Spencer, hey, I'm glad you like it, but wow, I find it seriously. There are scenes that jump over like huge parts of time. I just I don't like it. I don't like it. And the effects don't do it any justice. That what I talked about, like the Sesame Street. Okay, you remember Chuck E. Cheese back in the day or Showbiz, and they had that thing where you'd sit on this thing, and then on the TV it would look like you're flying. Yeah, that's how bad the effects are in that movie. And I'm sorry, I can't, I can't. And it's the same reason, and it's all the De Laurentiis, a lot of De Laurentiis's movies. I don't know if that's the right way to. Anyway, yeah, they look like that. Flash Gordon, same way. There's a lot of people that swear by Flash Gordon and say it's one of the greatest movies ever. I can't stand it. I can't. The only. I mean, there are parts of it that are kind of funny and fun. It's really fun to see Max von Sydow play that. What I don't remember the character's name, the bad guy in Flash Gordon, but and Brian Blessed was Gordon's alive. I mean, Brian Blessed's awesome. But and even the Queen soundtrack is actually pretty fun, but I can't. I'm not a fan. Just can't. I don't know. Dune 84 is not good, but I still love it. I still would like to see an official 4-hour cut of the movie. Yeah, yeah, Lynch. I mean, it's just funny watching the special features on that. One of the people said that it was like one of the last days of filming, and he turned to her and said, "I will never make another big budget movie again." And he hasn't, in the 40 years since Dune, he hasn't. So there you go. But yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. From what I hear, the new Dune is better than Lynch's version. He hates it being called his. They didn't let him edit it. Yes. Yeah, they took out so much stuff. I think she said that the one of the crew, I can't remember, I think she's production something. I don't remember. But she said that the assembly cut, which is basically let's put all the stuff together and watch it, right? And just see the whole thing. And there's going to be things that are missing, of course, effect shots and things like that. But it ended up being like over 4 hours, which is where the 4-hour director's cut, came from. But an assembly cut is not a director's cut. An assembly cut is literally all the stuff that was filmed. Let's put it together in sequence and see what we got. I think the cut that I think Lynch tried to push Universal to release the 3-hour version, and they finally got it down to whatever the runtime is, 137 minutes. So that's 217 with credits. So yeah, there's 40 minutes somewhere. I don't know if they'll ever release that, but yeah, the 4-hour I don't think is ever going to happen because you wouldn't want to watch that anyway. An assembly cut is not something that you watch to enjoy. It's something you watch to study. Okay, what could we use? That kind of thing. You wouldn't want to watch an assembly cut. But yeah, I mean, I find it's an interesting movie from it's almost like a time capsule to 1984 and what was possible. But what's funny is what's possible going the De Laurentiis route. His version of special effects were just nowhere near anything as to what, Skywalker was doing or what Lucasfilm was doing. Or ILM was doing. There's just no comparison. It looks cheap. It looks budget. It looks second class. And it's those kinds of movies were the reason why I didn't like uh, a lot of the cheesy sci-fi movies from the early 80s, like Battle Beyond the Stars. There's people that are like, "Oh, it's seven samurai in space." And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't watch it. I can't. And a lot of those older sci-fi movies, same thing, you know, um and it's funny because I'm been reading the making of Alien, right? And Ridley said that his parents didn't want him to watch the old sci-fi movies because they were almost as bad as, like, you know, they looked at it as almost like as bad as porn, because it didn't have any substance to it, and it was just cheesy and whatever. And so when he went to see 2001, he was like, okay, so you got a really good filmmaker in Stanley Kubrick making a sci-fi film. This is going to be really interesting, you know, like what can he bring to it? And of course he was blown away. I mean, 2001 holds up today. I mean, yeah, there are moments where things don't look quite as good as they could today, but there's stuff that they pulled off that I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe of it makes you feel a lot of the like a lot of it's real, and it's so well done. But anyway, uh I never bought 12 Monkeys because of the audio issues. Arrow, fix your stuff, please. Hey, yeah. I bought the in fact 12 Monkeys is one of the first, it's not the first, but it's one of the first Arrow 4Ks that I bought. I was really excited about it. And yeah, I didn't actually hear the problem that they were talking about. But then they were like, "Oh, well, we'll send you a replacement." I'm like, "Okay." And then they sent me like 3. Like, I got like 2 extra copies. I don't know why. So, there you go. What makes David Lynch's version is the fact it could have been better, and you can see it especially when you know what's going on. The execs that meddled in that movie should never have a job. I mean, yeah, but the thing is that movie is so, the density of that story. And I'll say this too, I don't think that the script it doesn't do it any favors. And this is part of the issue too with, if you look at the openings of of this Dune and Denis Villeneuve's Dune, completely different. This version starts off with like 10 minutes of exposition, trying to get you up to speed with everything that's going on. And it's not like Lord of the Rings where it's done with this very dynamic thing. It's Virginia Madsen just talking to you. I mean, it's just, I mean, Virginia Madsen. I mean, right? But still, there's so much that I think could have been done differently, even with the time, with the technology at the time, everything. I just feel like it's not, it's too avant-garde. I'm not saying that David Lynch is a terrible filmmaker. I'm not. I have definitely enjoyed some David Lynch films, but I don't know if that's the right, for this story. I don't know if it was the right way to go. And plus, there's so much of the characters. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the way it's told. I don't like the fact that an actor is just sitting there looking at the camera, or looking at, okay, I'll look over here at Nightbot over here in the corner. He'd be like, and all the while, the actor's got to sit there and just, hey, this is what you're thinking. And then later they'll dub over what the person's thinking. It's it's not great. It's just not great. But here's the thing. I'm just, hey. Again, I am so happy that I own this, because this is one of those where it's fascinating to see the process and the thinking. And I think, like I said, David Lynch is, he's He's crazy. He's crazy good. And I like seeing his work. But man, did that think about that. Think about the movie pushed the limits even back then. I think that movie should have been rated R. Because it shows some crazy stuff. It's crazy. I don't know. But man, the shot that I keep thinking when I think of Dune, I think of Paul and Stilgar riding the sandworms or the sandworm, and he's like this, and Stilgar's right here, right, and he looks over at him, and they just smile goofily at each other, and then they turn back. Kyle MacLachlan, he's not great. He's fine in most things. Here, it's his first movie, and he'd never acted with a camera before. And you can tell the way that he, Father, it's so bad. It's just not good. So it's campy. It's campy in so many ways, but just the performances are just so weird. And I don't know. But here's the thing. Like I said, I should stop talking bad about it because I know there are fans of this movie. And there are people that, I mean, just love this movie and it's part of their childhood. And I don't want to tear it apart. But I mean, look, feel free to tear apart Star Wars all you want because hey, I love Star Wars. Those original movies, I've heard so many bad things about them. And it just makes me smile because it's like, you know what? That's part of it, you know? So anyway, sorry. Yes, the post about the fight to publish the Pentagon Papers. If you dig movies like Spotlight, All the President's Men, Zodiac, The Insider, check it out. Yeah, the post is it's good. It's not like top tier Steven Spielberg in my opinion, but it is really good. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's all executives as far as Dune goes. I don't think it's all the executives' fault. And it's not like it's David Lynch's fault. He's got a sensibility when it comes to storytelling. The problem is it's not digestible to a mainstream audience. It's just not. So I've heard Lynch is actually thinking about doing a director's cut when he wouldn't even talk about it before. If that's it, Ted, I haven't heard that. Everything I'd heard over the years is that David Lynch basically says, nah, I don't want anything to do with it. And when, even to the point that when at some point they put together sort of like a little tiny extended version for TV, David Lynch said, no, if you're going to do that, take my name off of it. And it'll say, the TV version says directed by Alan Smithy, which is a pseudonym, basically a placeholder pseudonym for that person that's actually credited of doing this work. Yeah, he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So I don't know. That would be complete news to me. Yeah. The Shaw Brothers box set. Sorry about that. Oh, the really? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Because here's the thing. I think everybody's got those movies, you know, that are like guilty pleasures. Martial arts movies are absolutely my guilty pleasure. I can watch them all day, every day. You know, like in place of watching people on Twitch play whatever, I can watch martial arts movies all day long. Because I find them it's like comfort food. It's like, or a warm blanket. You're just like, oh, I love them. They're bad. A lot of them are bad, like really bad. But I don't care. So basically what I'm trying to say is, Matt Walls, if you're saying, hey man, martial arts movies, a lot of those are stupid and cheesy. Yes, they are. But I love them. So I watched Return of the Deadly Venoms and 8 Diagram Pole Fighter in Internal of Shaw Brothers. I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, Return of the Deadly Venoms is great. I haven't seen 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, and that's one of those where I actually want to see that one. Like I might buy the Arrow because I think it's on Arrow. Yes, in terms of Shaw Brothers. Yes. And Rachel, hello. I'm way behind. I don't know if you're still here, but hi. How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Make sure you vote, everybody, right now. Strawberry Swirl is in the lead. Strawberry Swirl is in the lead with 39% of the votes. Raspberry white chocolate cheesecake is in last place with 26%. Chocolate Eclair is nipping on Strawberry Swirl's bunghole, I don't know, with 35% of the votes. So we're just going to give it a couple more minutes and then we're going to try the thing. We're going to get caught up first though. Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch comes back on tonight. Interesting. Holy crap, how am I so far behind? Okay, we're just going to zoom through this, okay? Redbeard's one of my all-time favorites. He's a doctor. It's on Max and Apple TV if you want to buy it. Really slow movie, but I don't know what it is about. What it is about, I just love it. Wow. And yes, Bridge of Spies is great. Bridge of Spies is a great movie. It's not my favorite, but it is good. Ready Player One is the last Spielberg movie. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like it. But there's a lot of Spielberg movies that are above average, but they're not like great. And they're not like, I don't know anybody that says, oh man, Bridge of Spies is my favorite. I mean, it's good. It's definitely good. It's better than adequate. It's really well done. It's just not my favorite, you know? West Side Story was ass cheeks, blue chunks on my evening. When I went to the bathroom, I snuck into No Way Home and watched it for 10 minutes while my date was in West Side Story. Interesting. I'll say this. I'm not a musicals fan. I love West Side Story. The original, I love it. I really love it. Like, that was one of those where I'm like, oh man, this is on our list, the AFI list. Okay. I love it. So I really want to see Spielberg's version because I heard it's not the same, but it's still good. I still want to see it. The sequel to Bridges of No, I don't think Bridge of Spies is the same thing. Prequel, I thought. Oh, okay. Melville almost cried when he left the bag of games at a vendor and thought he had it the whole time and sprinted back to get them. I love that episode. It's so funny. It's so funny. I sometimes wish I wasn't as empathetic as I am. It would sure make my job easier. Interesting. I don't know what your job is, but Ted. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Sappho that thoughts acquire speed, the lips acquire stains, stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. Is that's from Dune, right? I don't remember. Sounds very familiar though. That's a lie. That goon Billy manipulated the footage. Flash Gordon is one of the greatest movies ever made. See, that's the thing, man. I didn't grow up with Flash Gordon, so I saw it 4 years ago, something like that, for the first time, and I'm just sitting there the whole time going, "Oh my god! Like, please give me something to root for. Give me something like, oh, okay, girls dressed very skimpily. That's not bad." And then, oh boy, we're back to the flying things. Oh god, I'm just not. It's not. Look, it's a thing. You know, you can say that that's a flaw. If you say, hey, you know what, I really this Order 42 guy isn't bad, but his greatest flaw is that he can't get over effects that aren't up to his standard, because that's really what it is. It's just they don't work for me, so I can't do it. I can't do it. It is a warning of addiction. I think the whole book was an allegory for shrooms. I'm not sure what that is. Melvor's cheeks were almost victim to Dongo's drunken wrath. Let's hope the 4-hour adventures in game chasing cut never sees the light of day. That's true, Melvor. I think that might be the real Melvor. Oh, it's a troll account. The Melvor is an imposter. Mods ban him. My 7 Samurai in Space is that Clone Wars episode where we first met Hondo. There I said it. That's actually a fun episode. I like that one. And Wraith, welcome. Good to see you. The old Dune explains a lot without showing it. Yeah, that's part of the problem too, I think. Two Melvors. Yeah. Virginia Madsen was a freaking babe back in the day. She was also great in Candyman. Yeah. Am I almost caught up? No, I'm still so far behind. How am I so far behind? That's so weird. I like the first season and a half of Twin Peaks. I never saw a lot of Twin Peaks. I saw bits and pieces, but never a lot. Don't lie. You think of Sting and his mankini. I mean, look, dude. Let's be honest, okay? Sting was looking good back then. I actually enjoyed watching him. Just he's so crazy. The crazy eyes. I really enjoyed watching him. I'm like, I wish there was more of him. But hey, people tear apart Star Wars, so I have no issues tearing apart the other movie. Well, here's the thing. I just don't want people to think like I think you suck because I don't like the movie that you like or whatever. It's not like that at all. Those movies, De Laurentiis movies, Dino De Laurentiis, man. You're talking Flash Gordon, Conan. Somebody throw something. Dune. I don't like a lot of his choices. Don't like him. Did you watch the Oliver Harper retrospective on 80s Dune? Mentions Lynch may go back to it. I need to verify the citation though. I did not. That's the one. Yeah, I haven't watched that yet because I only watched Dune Sunday? Saturday? I don't remember. No, because Sunday we were gonna get together, do the thing, and then it was like, no, you don't have to. And then I was like, okay. Then April and I went and did things, and then yeah, I think it was Sunday when I watched it. Martial arts movies are my pleasure. I love them. Are you ready? Are you ready? Look, we got 24 votes. We're gonna give it until we get caught up. But if you want to vote, now's your chance. Chocolate eclair, raspberry white chocolate cheesecake, or strawberry swirl. Vote now or you don't get to vote. Funky. Do it. I mean, if you want. Most of these movies we talk about came out 10 to 45 years before I was born. I still respect the filmmaking. Yeah, that's the thing. I can respect what Lynch was trying to do, but it didn't work. There's a reason why Dune wasn't. They didn't do well. You know, Krull is another 80s movie that some people just, oh my God. When I talk bad about Krull, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, that movie's poop. Poop. It's not good. The acting's bad. It's cool to see a young Liam Neeson. It's cool to see a young, in fact, that's another Freddie Jones. Is that his name? That's in Dune. He plays Thufir Hawat. He's in Krull as well. There are parts of it that I like, but the overall, the storytelling is not good. It's just not. That's a movie that you remake. You know, you take the ideas that were in that movie and you remake it and you try to make it awesome. That's a movie that you can go back and remake. Don't remake Back to the Future. Are you kidding? Don't do that. That's dumb. Great movie. The movie stands on its own. It's great. Don't remake Back to the Future. Remake Krull. Hashtag remake Krull. So, there you go. By the way, hi, Billy. Good to see you. Any ass eat. It's 8:05 now. Okay, I'm 8 minutes behind. Okay, Billy. People who like West Side Story got dealt with. Hey, look, I like it. I'm sorry, I like it. I like it. I also like Moulin Rouge. I think it's fantastic. So, yeah, it's doing. That's what I'm quoting. The stains will be. Yeah, you seem confused when I say it, so I hunted it down. Yeah, but no, yeah. And Robert Rivera, my chat just freaked out. But hi, Robert Rivera, good to see you. Not Gary is also in here. Good to see you. South Park. I mean, by the way, South Park is gonna be coming back to theaters. I don't know exactly when, but I saw that recently that it's coming back to theaters. So take that with a grain of pepper, salt, pepper, salt and pepper. Yeah. I almost started singing "You're Never Gonna Get It," but that's not salt and pepper. That's the other group. Uh, what is? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not my style of music. It's just not mine. Yeah. Palpatine eats ass. I mean, I'm sure he does. Love all the lasers in Flash Gordon. How's that script going? I'm still working on it. The second revision or first revision? I guess it's first revision. The first revision of the fourth draft. Yes, I'm still working on it. Abraham, how's it going? And hi, Rachel again. Sting was good in The Bride. That's a movie I haven't seen. That's Jennifer Beals, right? I never saw that one. Play that song from last time. Okay, maybe when we do the thing. I don't even remember what I played. What did I play last time? Sting had a good chuckle. Yeah, Melvor, what are your thoughts on Transformers 1? I'm curious. The Transformers 1 thing, I think it looks fine, but it also looks like it may not be for me. It may be for kids. It doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't look fantastic to me, but who knows? Yes, Matt Walls. Dino De Laurentiis. Didn't he? Am I making that up? Or am I assuming because I didn't care for it? Dino De Laurentiis, producer. Seriously? Conan the Barbarian, executive producer. Okay. But still. Yeah, kind of. Mostly. Or something. Okay, are we going to call it? Let's just go ahead and call it. We're going to call it for Strawberry Swirl. It's going to happen. Let me get caught up. Then I'll go grab some nicotine and we'll do this thing. Do you like movies like The Day the Earth Stood Still or Forbidden Planet? Spencer? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't care for them. I don't like them. Mm-mm. It's the cheese that I can't get over it. Rob hates classics like Dune, Flash Gordon, and Conan. I'm sorry. I just don't. I hope that thrift store we went to still have some of those McDonald's plates. I mean, the new Crawl is great. Crawl. Troll is awesome. Sorry. With the flood and such in the house. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, Kroll. I thought he said troll. No, Kroll. Kroll with the 5-star. Yeah, cheesy and bad. Remake that one. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on Netflix or something. I like the Prime action figure though. We'll probably get that one. There you go. Back to the Samurai Jack. Hey, KP Senti, how's it going? Troll or Troll 2? I'm still behind. Grapevine, Texas, June 21st, 23rd, going to the G.I. Joe and action figure show. I collect toys in my favorite toy camp. Hey, Ted, I would guess that would probably be something that Billy and or Jay and or Melvor would also go to. So maybe we'll see you there. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the En Vogue. Thank you, Wraith. Yes, you're never going to get it. What would my style of music be? I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan. But I also like a lot of ambient music. Aphex Twin, I love. There are Tycho. Love Tycho. But mostly but I also like Pearl Jam. I like Nirvana. But I like, there's so much, what I like is so broad that it's crazy. Like I like Daft Punk a lot, but it doesn't really fit. I like Deadmau5, but that doesn't really fit either. That's more of like dance music, and I don't typically like that, but I like Deadmau5 stuff. Like there's some Deadmau5 stuff I love. So I'm all over the place. I like some R&B. I like some rap. But the rap that I like is almost like this much rap. You know, like, I don't like that much rap, but the ones that I do, I really like it. But I don't like a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Legos out of your price range. Yeah, that's crazy. This is crazy. Okay. Playing anything on Nintendo Switch lately, Robert or Melvor? Robert is asking. Mannerisms in Transformers 1 seem like a young audience type of thing. Yeah, exactly. And I just don't know if it's for me or not. Forbidden Planet was nifty. Rob hates fun movie. Arr. Off the nut, please. We're getting there. We got to mix first. We're almost there. 1950s The Day Earth Stood Still is still in my top 3 movies. I think you'd like the artist Tipper. His early works is so ambient and amazing. Sony hired him as a sound designer. Okay. Saw Nin twice for the Downward Spiral tour. Yes, I did too. Did you see them in October of 94 and March of 95 with the Jim Rose Circus? Saw Aphex Twin open for Bjork around the same time in 95. Oh! I didn't get into Aphex Twin until a little bit later. But oh my God, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Okay, I'm caught up. Yeah, let's do the thing. I gotta go grab some Nick in the scale. So I'll be right back. Okay, be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Oh, I need this. So, strawberry swirl, you wanted it. So we got to put some we got to do the thing. And again, this is a weird thing that Australia in their wisdom doesn't allow you to put nicotine in the bottle. You can't just buy it with nicotine in the bottle. So what do? They make you put it in there yourself with these little bottles called Nick shots. Problem is, in America, we don't have Nick shots. So I've got to basically mix my own to get it up to the correct, what do you call it? To get it to 3 milligram of nicotine. Basically what I'm saying is this is a more advanced thing. So, okay, finally, jeez. I hate it when they do that. They get stuck. Gotta get my towel. I don't know why I did that. That looked weird and goofy. Okay, just smelling it, it smells ridiculous. Okay. So, I've got to concentrate for a second. So, you guys keep it down for a second, okay? Just keep it down. In fact, let's do this. Let's open this up. Let's go over here. Let's do this where I do this. And wait a minute. That's not right. That's not right. No, don't do that. Let's do that. Yes. Then click that. Yes. Okay. Now, we're almost there. We're going to do this. Where is that? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. No, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Is there a folder maybe that I can just pull up? There we go. Open a new folder. Perfect. Great. Thank you. Now, what do we want to listen to? I don't even remember what song. Somebody said, oh, play that song again. I don't remember what song it was. So we're just going to play this one as I do the mixing. Okay? Sound good? Let's do it. all made with one sound, this song. I said, let's see if we can do a whole song with just one sound. That's what we did. Okay, PG. PG, going in. Finally, PG. Lid goes on. Now, we shake. Be sure to make eye contact. So there you go. Yeah. That's actually one of the first songs that I wrote on this keyboard over here that doesn't work anymore. There you go. So that song is, like I said, that was one of the first songs that I ever wrote on this keyboard. Again, the idea is see, that's the thing, Matt. I feel like we're watching a chemist making drugs. It's weird. It's strange that other countries are like, yeah, we're not going to put nicotine in the bottles that you buy. You do all the hard work yourself. Why? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't get it. But here's the thing. This bottle is dangerous. That's why it says XXX on it. That's because I wrote that. But it's, yeah, this is 100 milligram nicotine. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you have to mix it myself. I have to mix this crap myself. That's stupid. Dumb. Dumb. Anyway, this should be well mixed now. So here's what we're going to do. All right. First thing we got to do. And by the way, if you look at the size, okay, so this is the same size bottle, right? The only thing that I'm putting nicotine in here in this bottle, I put 3.73 grams, which is, this is 120 milliliters. I don't know. It's ends up being what, 3% of this whole thing is nicotine. So, or 3 milligrams in 100. Look, it's a thing. Okay. It's just a thing. Don't forget the iocane powder. Oh, I forgot. On this episode of Breaking Bad, who is that? Trent Reznor? This song. Yeah, that song is me. I wrote that song. Melvor, did you know that I wrote music? Yeah, I did. We'll listen to another song when I get this ready to go. But yeah, I love that song. And it, I think Carbonite at one point said, yeah, that sounds a lot like Another Day in Paradise. There are moments in it that sound like that, not intentional whatsoever. There's another song that sounds a lot like a song that came from the Fifth Element soundtrack. And in fact, there's one that is has elements of the Airman. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yeah. Listen to this one. See if you can pick it out. If you played Mega Man 2 a lot, this is basically the bass line of the Airman theme. And you don't hear the melody until a little bit later. But here you go. Listen to that. So yeah, that's yeah. Okay, time for the Nuck. The Nuck. You ready? Again, smells amazing. Here's the funny thing. This tastes like almost every strawberry vape I've ever had. It just does. It's very fine. Off the Nuck, it's very fine. But here's the thing. Things change. Things change when you put it on a coil and you vaporize the F out of it. It changes. Okay, I need to turn this on. Okay. It's on. Ooh. Spilled a little bit. It smells good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't. I don't know. Okay. This is ready to go. I like the sound. Oh, dude, Bubble Man. Dun 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 dun. That's my second favorite. That's my second favorite on that. Like, of all those songs, I love Bubble Man. There's so much Mega Man 2 soundtrack that I feel like I could make a whole thing about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the Airman thing that I just played. That was one of those things that I felt bad playing it for anybody because I knew what it was. It was basically me taking apart the Airman theme and doing my own thing with it. And it made me feel like I'm not a real musician because I'm just basically, stealing from whoever wrote the Mega Man 2 soundtrack. But anyway. First vape. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play. Which one are we going to play? Because you haven't heard. Yeah, I don't know what to play. Because this is. No. Which one is it No. Is it this? Oh, that's the beginning music, the start music, right? Let's play. Okay, this one is probably, in my opinion, is probably the best put together song. There are things that I really like about it. I've played it before, I'm pretty sure. In fact, if Bucho or Cosma or Scat is here, yeah, they would go, yeah, I know that song. This is, like I said, it's probably the best put together song, and it's, actually original, unlike some of the other ones. In fact, I'm going to open it up in VLC. That way it doesn't skip. I'm going to sit with this for a minute. South Park in June. Thank you, Ricky. For some reason, Bucho finds this song real nice to walk to. It's called Ambulo. Ambulo is Latin for I walk. So there you go. I think Rob put something else in that vape. He's acting funky now. Hey, nothing funky in here, really. Look, I'll say this. Grim Green, right? Over there on the Grim Green YouTube channel. The dude is like pretty much, I would say 80% of what I know about vaping, I get from Grim Green. Dude is an amazing advocate for vaping. He's an amazing teacher, and he does reviews, all that kind of stuff. Grim Green is one of the best. He loves this liquid so much. It's good. It's a good strawberry vape. It's a strawberry vape that's really good. There's nothing like blowing me away about it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I like it. Uh, Racing game menu on PS2. Matt Walls. There is I think it was Gran Turismo HD, and it was a demo. There is a song, like when you remember on the PS3, you had the kind of swirly background, right? And then and it had the menu. I can't remember what they call that menu. But it's basically as you moved left or right, the whole menu would shift. And then if you selected a game, it would play music from the game or whatever. The Gran Turismo, I think it's Gran Turismo HD. I can't remember if that's right or not. But the song that played during that, I would just let that XMB screen, yes. XMB dashboard. Absolutely. Thank you, Ricky. I would just let that play for Gran Turismo. And in fact, I think I actually have I have it saved in my YouTube history. Hold on a second. History. And if I search my history for HD, yeah. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get any kind of copyright. Again, I watched the freaking Joker trailer a couple of weeks ago, claimed my whole video, so I'm not doing that. But here's the video. And this is Gran Turismo HD menu music. And I would just sit there and listen to it. Let me just for a second. Yep, that's it. I would just listen to that for like 20, 30 minutes. I would just listen to it. I love it. And I have it in my saved or whatever because I love it. But there you go. Would it be possible to mess around with that Airman song? Well, here's the thing. I don't have any kind of... All I have for all of my tracks now is just an MP3. It doesn't have... I don't have... what do you call it? I don't have any... What do they... Stems? Is that what they call it? I don't have individual tracks, anything like that, because it was written on an XP50 back in 1999 or 98. So it's not like I have anything that you could use. So I got claimed for using an elevator music tune by a very small hip hop artist that used it as a background. Yeah. The GoldenEye pause music, absolutely banger. Banger. And that is actually based, that pause music, I think is based off of a track off of the GoldenEye actual score by Eric Serra, who went on to do The Fifth Element. See how it all ties in together? Yeah. Video game music, Eric Serra, GoldenEye, Fifth Element. I love all that stuff. Good stuff. I'm cool with using the MP3. I'd use it as a sample, really. You know what, Ninjinzu? Hit me up on Discord. We'll talk about it. In fact, I was just thinking about making all of them available to you guys somehow. Just throw it out there on something. Because it's not like I'm going to make any money off of them, you know? Or maybe just throw them on iTunes or something, or on Apple Music, whatever the hell it is now. Spotify. But yeah. So yeah, basically, thank you guys for picking the strawberry swirl. I like it. It's fine. It's fine. It's, you know what this is? This is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare of e-liquids. It's fine. It's fine. There's not really a whole lot of depth to it. I'm not like blown away by it, but it's good. It's good. It's fine. The people that are going nuts over that movie, I don't get it. I don't get it. I like the movie, but I also feel like it's incredibly shallow, and I don't remember barely anything that happened. It was like, I enjoyed it while I was watching it, and it's over. But there you go. GT7, Forza Horizon, nothing is top Need for Speed Underground 2. You know what one of my favorite just drive around games was? Burnout 2. Or Burnout Revenge. One of the Burnout games. I love that. No, Burnout Paradise. That's it. Paradise. Loved that game. I played that game so much, just crashing crap. It was just so much fun. It would just be fun to just gun it and see how far you can get without destroying your car. I love that game. It's fun. PS2 version of Hot Pursuit 2. I don't know if I ever played that one. But how about we get into some and Shozami is probably like, dude, when is he going to get to the freaking stuff? Okay, here's the pickups. Okay, here are the pickups. Oh, by the way, before I do that, let me just say this really quick. If you're into the movie Hereditary, they're releasing that in IMAX tomorrow. I looked on today on Fandango. There were tons of IMAX theaters tomorrow at 7 p.m. They're playing Hereditary in IMAX. I like the movie. I'm not like, I don't need to go see it in IMAX, but if you're a big fan of Hereditary and you want to see it in IMAX, you can go see it tomorrow in IMAX, and it's playing all over the country. So if you're really a big fan, you might want to go ahead and see if you can get a ticket or whatever. It's tomorrow at 7 p.m. I didn't know about this until earlier today. And I just think that's cool that they're it seems like, for me, it's like getting out to the theater. I love seeing something I've never seen before, but I also love seeing movies that I love on the big screen again, or maybe for the first time. So there you go. If you're excited about Hereditary, you can go see it in IMAX tomorrow. There's like 10 theaters around me that are playing it. So I just figured I'd bring that up because I didn't know about it until earlier this afternoon. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Was the subplot about the black guy and the chick, or did I get that wrong from your review? You never said it yourself. That's what I meant when I said DEI subplot in the comments of your review. I mean, yes, but I guess what I was trying to say in my review, and again, that review, it's fine. But to me, it's like, what bothered me about it is that I didn't find that part of the plot as interesting as the plot with Henry Cavill's crew. It wasn't like they threw in a bunch of, DEI crap. I don't honestly care about that stuff. But it was more like, okay, why are we spending so much time with these people? And there was a reason, because everything kind of comes together at the end and all that kind of stuff. But I was still kind of like, Henry Cavill is like a guest star in this movie where he's like the star or whatever, but it's pretty much all the actors have equal time. And it seemed like every time they went to that side of their story, I was kind of like, eh. Anyway, Hereditary tomorrow on IMAX if you're interested. Now, here's what I got. Amazon was doing a deal, buy 2, get 1 free. So basically, buy 3 items, one of those will be free, right? So the first thing I got is a movie that I love, but I realized I didn't actually have it on disc. I have it digitally, but not on disc. So I went ahead and bought it. Blade Runner 2049. Amazing movie. Amazing movie. And in 4K, beautiful movie. I don't know if I have to say anything about this, because it's an amazing movie. The next movie is one that I'm a little irritated with. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm irritated. Not because it's the movie, but because of, well, it's because of whatever company is putting this out. I don't like their methods. That is Ferrari. I'm a big Michael Mann fan, okay? I wanted to see Ferrari when it was out in theaters, but never got around to it, okay? But as you can see, this is a Blu-ray. In the United States, Ferrari is not available in 4K. Or on a 4K disc, I should say, because guess what? Digitally, it's available with 4K HDR. But if you want the movie on disc, you can only find it in Blu-ray. Now, I went and looked around. There's an Italian release. There is, I want to say, a French release. Of course, an Italian release, right? It's Ferrari, right? The problem is no English subtitles. So, and I'm talking about they're speaking Italian in this. So when they're speaking English, that's fine. But when they're not speaking English, I won't know what they're saying. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'll just buy the Blu-ray. Turns out I could have just bought the digital and got it in 4K. I don't like that. It irritates me. But there you go. Ferrari is a movie. I have no idea. This is kind of a blind buy. It's a Michael Mann film, so I kind of feel like even if it's not great, it's still a Michael Mann film, so I'm kind of okay with it. But yeah, so there you go. And it's Adam Driver. Adam Driver, the man. I love Adam Driver. I just think he's great. So I'll give it a shot. We'll see. And that's another thing that kind of makes you go, you open it up, bare bones. No slip, no book, no nothing. It's just a bare bones release. That's what they think of Michael Mann here in the United States. Kind of irritating. But there you go. So, those are the two movies. This one is the one that actually ended up being free. Because along with Blade Runner 2049 and this, you could also pick up a book. So I picked up this little number that I didn't have. And I said, I think I need that. The Making of Aliens by J.W. Rinsler. Now, if you don't know, J.W. Rinsler also did The Making of Star Wars. So, The Making of Star Wars, The Making of Empire, The Making of Return of the Jedi, The Making of Indiana Jones, right? He did The Making of Alien book that I have, and he did this as well. So, yeah, this is still sealed, but I'm looking forward to going through this one as well. Property of LV426 Acheron? Acheron? I'm not sure. But there you go. Very cool. And yeah, I'll read that at some point. But I also mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I had ordered some books from the UK. Tolkien books. The last 2 Tolkien books that I need to complete my collection. And not really a collection as far as like I have all these books, right? All these are all Tolkien, right? But some of them are not written by Tolkien. Some of them are just books that I want to read about Middle Earth or whatever. But there's so many out there. These are the last 2 that I need to complete the collection that I've been going for. So, the first one, Finn and Hengist. Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know what this is. I didn't know what this was. I just knew that it said J.R.R. Tolkien. But what it is this is the story of Finn and Hengist, 2 5th century heroes in Northern Europe, is told both in Beowulf and in a fragmentary Anglo-Saxon poem known as The Fight at Finnsburg, but so obscurely and elusively that its interpretation had been a matter of controversy for over 100 years. Bringing his unique combination of philological erudition and poetic imagination to the task, however, Tolkien revealed a classic tragedy of divided loyalties, of vengeance, blood, and death. The story also describes the events immediately preceding the first Germanic invasion of Britain, which was led by Hengist himself. There you go. So yeah, he basically took this classic story and translated it. So there you go. I'm eventually going to read this because It's on the list. And then finally, actually, we need that for a second. These came in two separate containers. One was a padded bag, right? Like, you get those padded bags, right? With bubble wrap. And one was a box. Guess which one came in better shape? No, not the one in the box. The one in the padded bag came perfect. It's perfect. Look at it. It's like it's perfect. It's in perfect shape, no scuffs, no problems. It looks great. For a paperback, this looks amazing. The Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. This came in the box. Looks okay, right? You're like, not bad. Dude, what are you complaining about? The box was open, and you can't really see it. Or maybe you can. This is one of those things that just irritates me. It's just one of those things. It's not a huge deal, and I'm not going to return it. But yeah, right there. You see that? See that big indentation? The box was open. They taped the box shut because apparently this just flew out and something huge and it landed on it. You can't even really see it that well. I think you might be able to see it. Yeah, you can see the indentation in there you go. In the cover there. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, how the hell did the polybag come from England in perfect condition, but the box book came all jacked up? Maybe you can see it on the outside there. It's right there. Again, Rob, you're too anal. You're too anal, and not like, you like butt stuff, but you're too anal. Why are you worried about that? I'm really not, but it's just one of those things that annoys me. A brand new $35 book and it's going to be all jacked up? That sucks. I don't like that. But you might be wondering, Rob, don't you already have the Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien? Yes. Yes, I do. I have the original version. This one is the revised and expanded edition that came out late last year. So there you go. Those are the last two books. The last two Tolkien books. Now I have everything that I would need for Tolkien. And if you're wondering, which you're probably not, but I'm reading Peoples of Middle-earth right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 more Tolkien books before I'm finished reading Tolkien. So, yeah. Have a lot to go. I'm on the last book, Peoples of Middle-earth, volume 12 of the 12-volume History of Middle-earth. That's exciting. But there you go. Wait, what Amazon deal is this? I'm not seeing anything. No, the Amazon deal was over. I didn't get these until after the stream last week. But they run that deal all the time where it's buy two, get one free of all this stuff. And it's books and movies and whatever. But yes, sorry, Melvor. It's over. It's over. And in fact, the deal that I got on the martial arts films that are coming next week, the Shout Factory sale, that ended last week, I think, too. And then Kino Lorber's big, huge sale, which I got 2 Kino Lorber movies from that ended yesterday. So, but look, man, that's the thing. Deals go on all the time, And I try to post them in the Discord or talk about them on the stream. You know what I'm saying? He goes deep on his Star Wars books. Yes, he does, Ted. I read through all 3 of those. I loved them so much. They're so good. And what I really liked about because I got the physical version of the first one, but I also bought it digitally through, Apple Books or whatever you want to call it. the cool thing about that is you get the full book and you get all the pictures and all that stuff, but you also get a bunch of interviews, and there's all kinds of stuff like extras that are media based. So it's almost like a, like a book with a CD that comes along with it. You know what I mean? It's really, really cool. So I really enjoyed those. Um, and yeah, the Alien one so far is really, really good. And I'm trying to get through that one, which I don't know if I'm going to get to all of it, because I mentioned Hereditary coming out to IMAX tomorrow. This weekend, we've got Alien Friday night, and we've also got sometime this weekend, I haven't looked it up, but The Mummy is at the 1999 Brendan Fraser, right? That is coming out in the theaters as well. So if you want to see Alien or The Mummy, check Fandango or whatever ticket thing you want to do. They are playing this weekend. So keep that in mind as well. Which I think is cool. It's like a lot of the movies that I've been wanting to go see are these re-releases of stuff. I know they're going to be doing, of course, South Park. We said in June, they're going to A24 is re-releasing Uncut Gems in theaters. There's just a lot of cool stuff that they're doing for that kind of stuff, and I think that's cool. I think it's cool. Someone get it with a box cutter. Did Customs open it? No, and I don't have the box anymore, but there's the way that Blackwell's does it is actually pretty nice. There's like these borders. Okay, hard to explain, but the box is like that. So my hands are cardboard. Okay. Then there's another piece of cardboard that goes around it. So it kind of, wraps around it. And then the seal, there's a pull tab on the seal. So it's actually pretty nice the way that they do it. The problem is that seal was broken, completely broken. And I'm guessing the book just fell out and something fell on it, because those same marks, the marks that are on the cover here they were not on the box. So my guess is the book fell out of the box at some point in transit. And again, it came from England, so who knows? And it seems like every time when something, if I've ordered something from Blackwell's, which is the store that I order from, they're like the Tolkien bookstore in England. I use them because it's free shipping to the US, which I think is cool. Anyway, it always comes through, I think, Cincinnati. And then it takes a while to get to DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, for those who don't know what DFW is. But yeah, so I don't think Customs opened it or anything like that. But no, it was just taped shut. So I don't know. I mean, for all I know, it could have been a return. And they just, well, no, because then I would have seen an extra label on the box, which I did not. I don't know. I'm scared of buying books from Amazon. The only book I bought from Amazon was the Infinite Gauntlet Omnibus hardcover. It had some slight damage, but overall it's fine. Here's the thing about Amazon. So you might remember this, that my friend John Michael bought me, which I still haven't gotten into yet, but it's the complete graphic novel of The Dark Tower, which is really cool, beautiful artwork, but from Amazon. But check out that corner. That corner is completely just mashed. You can see, yeah. And when I open this, come on. You can really see it's just mashed down. Come on. Focus on my hand. There you go. You can see how mangled that is. I almost did a return on it, but then I'm like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. And again, I'm not a steward of history. I'm going to read this sucker. So I'm not too worried about it. But it just kind of sucks that a gift came this way. because John Michael sent it to me. And it bent up some of the pages, but it's actually both corners. It's like something got like mashed right there. But what are you going to do, And how much you have to figure out like how much of it that's your time, having to go up to UPS or whatever and do the return and then that's your time. Is it worth it? I don't know. So I'm just, I don't know. That one I'm not that big of a deal. Dill or deal? Christian VS, welcome. Sorry, I probably said dill, but shout, let it all out. I heard that the other day. And head over heels. Of course, you hear, if you listen to 80s stations, you probably hear Everybody Wants to Rule the World like 12 times a day. There you go. Valaverse Toy Company, I like, just got his latest shipment from China and customs selected his container to check. They opened a bunch of boxes and someone stole a figure from the box they opened. Yeah, you hear about that kind of stuff all the time. But luckily, I have not had that kind of issue. I did have... This is one of those stories of first world type problem, you know what I mean? But there was I have a high-end vape thing mod. It's like a $400 mod, which is stupid, okay? I'm going to be the first one to tell you that in my opinion, that's dumb. Especially like this mod, which is this piece, not this piece. This piece. So it's basically just this piece. It's $400. And it works exactly the same as this $30 one. Yeah. Not too bright. Anyway, what was cool about it was that you could buy replaceable panels. These panels would come off and you could buy replaceable panels. Well, I ordered from Canada. I ordered I think it was a $60 or $70 complete carbon fiber panel. I was like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. This customizable thing, and I'm like, I'm really excited about it. I never got it. And the problem is, I contacted the company and they said, yeah, you chose the cheapest shipping, which doesn't include tracking. So we can't even track it. And I'm like, so nothing. And then I was like, you know what? He's right. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. Because I chose the bare bones, because I'm a cheap ass. I didn't buy the one with tracking. Well, I think the next level up, it would have cost like $10 more, which at that point I should have just done it, man. I was buying a $60 or $70 freaking carbon fiber panel. Why didn't I pay the extra $10 for the good shipping? But I didn't. And so I paid the price for it and I never got it. And they said, we'll keep your, all your information. We know that you bought this, They were super cool about it. They came back at me right away. They were super cool about it. He said, but look, here's the thing. This happens a lot. And it's why we're thinking about getting rid of that lowest shipping option, because this happens so frequently. So there's a good possibility that it may get to a point and they send it back. And if they do, we'll reship it. We'll contact you and see if you want to, pay extra money for the shipping. And I said, oh, please, I will do that. I will do that this time. And now I've learned my lesson. I won't do that again. So it's just one of those things that sucks. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I got 5 movies last night from Kino Lorber: The Last Castle, Missing in Action 3, Chomps, Ape, and Bedtime for Bonzo, starring Ronald Reagan and a chimp. I've actually seen Bedtime for Bonzo. That's one of those things where, for whatever reason, I've said that many times. Well, it's bedtime for Bonzo, like I'm, whatever. So there you go. Billy the Game Chaser himself. Got his little Kino Lorber. That's cool though. See, those are all, I don't know Chomps or Ape. I've seen Bedtime for Bonzo. I don't know if I've seen Missing in Action 3. But The Last Castle is one of those movies that I like. But There you go. Dang, I order books on Amazon almost exclusively now and don't ever have a problem. It's always books from eBay, regular mail that come in busted up. That's what's weird, man. I don't understand it. It's almost like, oh, well, this is a box. This is going to be fine. And that's the one that they just throw out the back of their truck and then go grab them up and then throw them at your door. I don't understand it. Like freaking Ace Ventura and the Pet Detective, right? That's how I feel like they do it. The ones that are, I don't understand. That freaking paperback should have been mangled. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. But then again, there's been, almost, okay. What can you see here? Yeah. Okay. All of these, and then those down there from this white one all the way down to the end. All ordered from Blackwell's. All ordered from England. Never had an issue. Never. So it just happens that this one, I had an issue. I actually have, in fact, you can't see it because it's kind of behind there. It's the lighthouse, which I showed you before. The lighthouse Lego that I have, that we haven't built yet. That one came like one corner of it is just, somebody just, decided to put it up their butt and then do a butt slam on it. You know what I mean? It's terrible. I called Lego and I'm like, why is this so bad? And they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, okay. I'm glad I wasn't buying this to resell. I'd be pissed. They actually sounded like that too. They did. Don't question me. That's how they sounded. Anyway. So yeah. But yeah, I'm a Tolkien freak, man. And I will say this. If anybody is interested, because to me, I'm one of those people that I get almost obsessed about something, right? When I really like something. Tolkien is like that for me. I read the Silmarillion and it just unlocked. It's like, okay, now super nerd is here. Super obsessive, like, oh my God, I gotta get them all. I gotta get everything. I want to read everything Tolkien's ever written. I gotta do it. And so I started my collection, right? The history of Middle-earth is not for the faint of heart. And I'm not saying that because, I'm this amazing guy that made it through it. No. I'm just really into Tolkien and I want to read all of the different versions of Beren and Luthien. I want to read all of the different versions, all the different takes on how The Lord of the Rings was written. Most people couldn't give two shits about it. And that's just the way it is. So if you're not interested in the writing process and the way that stories come to be, do not worry about missing something from History of Middle-earth. There's some nuggets of amazing stuff in there, but there's also hundreds of pages of stuff where you're reading the same thing, slight variations each time. It gets old. So I would not recommend History of Middle-earth for the layperson. But if you're into Tolkien and you want to read Tolkien stuff, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, if you're nasty, and then Unfinished Tales. And then if you're a sadist and you really love to read all this, and you're like, I want more, I don't care what it takes, I want more, then you read History of Middle-earth. Beyond that, I don't think you need it. That's just my opinion. But I think those Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, which is this right here, which is not a whole lot. That is crazy. So there you go. Look, I get it. Some people don't like reading. I love reading. Reading is a movie in your brain, and you're the director. I love it. I love it. So there you go. Oops. I didn't mean to open that crap. Okay. My friend got a tattoo from that Dark Tower comic. The man in black fled across desert and the gunslinger followed. Yes. Yes. It's so good. Dude, the Dark Tower. I'm going to say that I think the Dark Tower is a more... I shouldn't have done this. There we go. The Dark Tower is like really like it's better than the Harry Potter to me. It was a more rewarding reading experience than Harry Potter. But keep in mind that I've also been reading Stephen King books since I was like 8. So it was like a culmination of everything that I've been. Because Salem's Lot was the first Stephen King book I ever read. And yeah, Salem's Lot is awesome. So there you go. A few years back, a collector bought a bunch of sealed NES games from overseas. When it came in customs, cut open all the sealed games. Dude, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, that's heartbreaking right there. Yes, heartbreaking. Wraith, yes. Thought tracking was standard? Yeah, apparently not with this company. And again, I don't know. Shipping to other countries gets weird. So even from Canada to the US, there's some weird like okay, so I used to do shipping to Canada a lot at my last job. And you wouldn't believe the hoops we'd have to jump through. Like especially if we were sending a laptop, it sucked. Because we had to go up to the post office and fill out all these forms and then fill out these lithium ion battery forms and all that stuff. It's such a pain in the butt. And I'm like, it's a freaking laptop. It's not whatever. Okay. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So maybe that was just, hey, if you want the absolute cheapest option and you're buying a $5 or $10 bottle of e-liquid, yeah, choose the cheapest option. But if you're buying something that's expensive, yeah, maybe you should pick maybe they should have something on there that's like, are you sure? This is kind of expensive and it would suck if you lost it because, it happens. But no, they didn't do that. And it's, again, it's not the company's fault for offering the cheapest possible option. It just sucks because there's literally no way for me to prove that they even tried to ship it because there's no shipping. There's no tracking information. So I don't know. I love the tracking when it lets you know the driver is near or will give you an ETA on your item. Absolutely, Wraith. But that's, yeah. Just a rule of thumb, if it's international, pay the good shipping. I got shafted on being cheap except one time. Quality stuff, use quality shipping. Absolutely, Shozama. And again, that was my lesson. This was like probably 9 years ago. And it was just because I was being cheap, because I'm kind of a penny pincher when it comes to that kind of stuff. I love a deal. And but I just really, I wanted this carbon fiber panel. And it's not even that big. It's like this big. But it was like $60 or $70, And it was from the Philippines. So they got it from the Philippines and then from Canada they shipped it to me. I almost ordered it directly from the Philippines company, but I didn't. I was like, "Oh, it's cheaper if I get it through from this shop in Canada." Good shop, by the way. I've bought many things from that shop. But this is the first time that something goes missing is when it's this $60, $70 item, which would have made that thing almost $500, with the panel on there. And I'm like, why? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? It does the exact same thing that this thing does. And this was probably total $80. I just don't, so yeah, I don't buy high-end stuff anymore. Just because I feel like it's a waste of money. But anyway, Chuck shouldn't go missing so much. Chuck? Who's Chuck? I return a lot of books from Amazon. Usually the replacement copy they send out is in better shape. Goblins. Yes, I've done it. I've done it once. But then I've heard stories of people having to do it like 3 or 4 times before they get it right. So I hate it when they send fragile or important items in an envelope. Yes. But see, that's the problem. That book was in a box. And it's not like the box was, it's like, how like I shake my liquid and I'm all like, rawr. That's what they were doing to that box. That's how they were shaking that box or something. I don't know. But It's just a gamble. So, and again, this came from Amazon, and it is like perfect. There's no problems. No problems with this book. And this is one where you would think that one might be a problem. This one might get damaged. No, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I mean, like a lot of stuff. My Dune book. This one came perfect. It's still sealed. I need to stop buying books. So, like the same theory of, hey, you probably shouldn't buy any more Legos since you haven't built. Yeah, same. There's a lot of books here that I haven't read yet. Like all of those down there, the ones that I was talking about, all of these, none of these. I haven't read any of these yet. None of them. One of them is a guide. It's not really the same thing. But wait a minute. No, wait. I have read this one, and that one. Yeah. But yeah. I have a lot of books. I need to stop reading. I mean, stop buying books. I have a lot of books. Anyway. I hate it when they send fragile or important. Yeah. Lego hires Professor Frink as a representative. Professor Frink. Do you ever think when you get a busted package, it's employees like Billy and Jay wrestling on top of them? I have never thought that before, Carbonite, but wow. You may be onto something. Just watch some YouTube videos on it. On what? I've read The Stand, but not The Dark Tower. Okay, Ted, I'll tell you this. If you've read, like, it's The Dark Tower really is for the constant reader, right? Stephen King always says that at the beginning of a lot of his books. Dear constant reader, here's what I was thinking when I was writing this, and here's the people that I thank for writing this or whatever. It's for the constant reader. It's the person that's read Salem's Lot, The Stand, It. You know what I mean? And it's like the more Stephen King you've read over the years, the more The Dark Tower will mean to you. Sure, you could probably read it, but if you've only read The Stand, I've read a ton of stuff Stephen King. Stephen King's one of my favorites, so it's just one of those things. It's one of those things, you know. It's really meant for those who, because there's so much in that book, in that series of books that reference earlier books. And I know that might sound weird, but it makes sense as you're reading it. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, I was doing this. Not that. This. And I was going to do this and then do that. Because I'm just going to put this up. And, we can talk about it if you want. Because holy crap. Holy crap. Is Michael Flanagan still doing it? Michael Flanagan. Here's the thing. I'm not sure that's his name. I can't remember his actual name, though. So I'm looking it up. Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan. You're right. It is Michael Flanagan. I guess so. Mike Flanagan. I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. I'll say this. If there's anyone out there right now, working right now in the industry that could pull off a Dark Tower series, it's Mike Flanagan. The problem is, man, it's dense. That is such a dense story. I mean, I would love to see him try. It would be one of those where there's going to be things that are going to hurt from if you're a fan of those books, which I am, That again, that's another one where I'm thinking at some point I'm gonna have to reread The Dark Tower because I loved it so much, loved it. The things like I watched many reviews of people saying, no, this sucks about the in book 6 when this happens. Oh my god, this is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm like, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. In fact, if anybody, it's in the we're not really talking Deadpool yet. It's one of those things where Quentin Tarantino, I talked about it before, Inglourious Bastards, killing Hitler at the end of uh, Inglourious Bastards. Steven Spielberg, what he does at the end of The Fablemans. There's something that Stephen King does in The Dark Tower that's like, I can't believe he's doing this. Is this a good idea? I don't know if this is a good idea, but he pulls it off and it's wonderful and I love it. I think it's so smartly written. And I know a lot of people are like, Stephen King can't even end a story. He ends a story here. And to me, it was everything. I loved it. But I completely understand when somebody says, this is not good. I get it. It worked for me. I loved it. So it's one of those things where it'll be interesting because he would have to pull from, like I said, so many of those different stories. But there's going to be so much he's going to have to cut. And that's what would scare me as a fan of those books is what would you cut? How would you even film some of this stuff? It could be awesome though. It could be great. And I think he could pull it off. But we'll see. Knights of Old. Hi. Good to see you. I have not seen the end of Shogun yet. That just aired today, right? I have not seen it. Or last night. I haven't seen it yet. I want to though. I'm going to, like maybe tonight after the show. I don't know. Shipping to Canada has more than tripled in price the last couple of years. Yeah, well, it was ridiculous before. It was so nuts. I guess Eric was nude wrestling. They mentioned it on the LOL Cow podcast tonight. I mean, 8-bit Eric's gonna 8-bit Eric, So, I don't know. Stephen King, not good for most readers, just Stephen King readers? No, The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower, the way that story is written, it rewards you for being a fan of Stephen King over the years. And if you haven't been, there's going to be things that are just going to, I guess, be fine. But it's going to mean more if you've been a fan and read a lot of his books over the years, is all I'm trying to say. But man, The Dark Tower goes to some weird places. I love it though, man. And I just finished the Black House, which is a Stephen King Peter Straub book. It's the sequel to The Talisman, which The Talisman is another one that has some links to The Dark Tower. Eyes of the Dragon. I loved Eyes of the Dragon. It has links to The Dark Tower. There's so much of his stories. Hearts in Atlantis. Hearts in Atlantis? Yeah, I think so. Links to The Dark Tower. It's awesome. It's just awesome when everything starts to come together and you go, okay, holy crap. That's from, that's so cool. Like I was like a kid in a candy store reading The Dark Tower. So much that I said, screw my actual reading list. I'm going from book 6 to book 7. I'm finishing this sucker off. Let's do it. And Black House was great. I loved Black House. In fact, The Talisman and Black House are, man, you talk about two stories set from many years apart with with a returning character. I would love to see that adapted. Love to see it because that character, Jack Sawyer, seriously may be one of my favorite characters like ever. He's definitely in the top 5, maybe top 3. I love that character. And seeing what he went through, I almost threw the I got angry, and then I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. So I loved it. So it's weird, man. It's I don't know. And I don't want to sound gatekeepy at all. It's not that I'm trying to say that. I'm just saying that reading The Dark Tower is a more fulfilling experience if you've read Tolkien or read Stephen King over the years. But yeah. Tommy Knockers and Dreamscapes and Nightmares. Yeah, Tommy Knockers. Oh, Dark Half. Dark Half isn't connected I've read all of those too. I just look, man, I'm a Stephen King freak, okay? I love Stephen King stuff. So, what cameos from the MCU will make an appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine? RL. Welcome, by the way. That's one of those where I don't even know, because we've already seen in the trailer some characters from X-Men 2, X-Men First Class. I don't know. I would let y'all figure that out and talk about that, because I don't even know. I feel like they could go crazy. But again, do you think that this is going to be one of those movies that, because look, let's think about Spider-Man No Way Home. I think at this point, if you were going to see Spider-Man No Way Home and you cared about what happens in Spider-Man No Way Home, you would have already seen it at this point, right? I'll just say, without going into spoilers about it, I will say there are cameos that happen that people were ecstatic about. And yet now it feels like there's sort of a, I wouldn't say backlash, but it's sort of a, yeah, the movie's not that great. I mean, you take out the cameos and the movie's just meh, you know? So is this going to be the same sort of thing? Now remember, Spider-Man No Way Home was made by Sony. This is being made by Marvel Studios, right? So it could have a completely different feel to it. I'm super excited to see what happens in Deadpool and Wolverine, just because they're involving the TVA. And look, the TVA, I love it. Loki season 1 and 2 are seriously two. Let me think about this for a second. I'm going to say this, that I think Loki season 1 and season 2 are the best thing Marvel has done on Disney Plus by far. Yeah. Better than WandaVision, better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think Loki season 1 and season 2 were amazing. And the fact that they're bringing the TVA into the mix here, I love that. But we'll see. It could be terrible, but I'm hoping it's going to be great. Scott Eastwood is Roland. I like Scott Eastwood. I haven't seen a lot of his directing or his acting though. Like, I think he looks the part, but I think you kind of need somebody in their 40s to play Roland. You need somebody with that weathered, like you can tell that things have happened to this kid or to this guy. And he's got to have the thing about Scott Eastwood is I don't know if I've seen him play anything that could come close to that. I honestly thought Idris Elba for Roland was, I mean, I still haven't seen that movie. I've heard it was terrible. But thinking about Idris Elba playing that part, I love it. I think it would be amazing. Unfortunately, they completely screwed up their chance of having a good anything with it because I heard the movie was so bad. But you need somebody like that with some gravitas. You need somebody with that um aged badass. It's kind of like if you took Clint Eastwood in The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. Actually, I'm trying to think. Oh crap. Yeah, I can't think of. I'm trying to think of you age up Clint Eastwood, and I'm sure there's a great, perfect example, but I'm going blank here. But you age up Clint Eastwood from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly about 15 years. That's what you need for Roland. I don't think Scott Eastwood is at that point. And he doesn't have, I don't know if he has the acting chops to pull off. Because that's, to me, that's what's more important. I think Scott Eastwood is a great look for Roland. I don't think he has the acting chops to do that. I could be completely wrong. I haven't seen a bunch of Scott Eastwood stuff. But that's what I'm talking about. So, anyway, let's see. I stopped after book 4 for some reason. Dark Tower, Knights of Old. If you're a Stephen King fan, I put off the Dark Tower for so many years because people kept saying, "Oh, it's not that great. Oh, it gets too weird. Oh, it's too much of a, I don't know." Just all these reasons not to read it. And then I read The Gunslinger and was like, okay. Then the Drawing of the Three, and I'm like, okay, I am 100% in. There's no part of me that thinks, I might stop. No. The Drawing of the Three just made me want more. And there's one of them. The thing is about Stephen King, though, and this could be why some people don't like him, is because he'll just go off for however many pages and tell a different story. You have to be able to ease yourself into that world and say, okay, take me on a journey. Because what is it? Is it book 4? What is book 4? Oh, I have it on my list here. Reading list. What's the book that Wizard and Glass? It is Wizard and Glass, isn't it? Where the whole book is basically a backstory. Like you have to allow yourself to just go, okay, no expectations, take me on a journey. And I think it's amazing. But, and maybe that's why you stopped, is you're like, I mean, this was okay, but whatever. I love it, dude. I just love it. I loved Wind Beneath the Keyhole. Wind through the keyhole. Shit, what's it called? It's right there. Wind Through the Keyhole. It's total side story. Total side story, has nothing to do. I mean, it does, but it's a story that's not in, like, it's what is it? 4.5 basically. So there's 8 books in the Dark Tower series. Wind Through the Keyhole. Wind Through the Keyhole takes place between books 4 and 5. But technically, it's just a side story. And that's one of those things that people just kind of like. Some people don't like that. I love that stuff. Give me more. Give me more in this world. You know, I just love that stuff. But anyway, I'll stop talking about Dark Tower. I'm sorry. A show would be better. Don't have to cut much. Oh, you'd still have to cut a lot. Those books are dense. So much happens in those books. It's kind of like, to me, like, have you ever been watching a South Park episode and somebody comes in 20 minutes in and you have to try to explain, okay, how do I explain to them what's happened in the last 20 minutes? There's only 10 minutes left. It's hilarious. I'm laughing my butt off, but I can't explain it because there's 20 minutes of this crazy stuff that's happened. To me, that's how dense the Dark Tower is. A South Park episode is like that, where if you come in 2/3 in, you're going to be like, I don't understand how they even got here. But once, if you watch the episode, you get it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love that stuff. Anyway. I like Maximum Overdrive. It's just corny fun. That's Didn't Stephen King direct that? And I heard it was terrible, but I've never seen it. Off to my video game stream. Have a good night and see you on Discord. Shows Ahmed. That was probably 30 minutes ago. Have a good one, sir. Hope you enjoyed. Episode 9 left my mouth wide open. I don't usually show emotion if I'm watching something alone, but what the F? Episode 10 was a great way to fold it up like the poems in the show. Shogun, by the way. Oh, yes. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see it. I'm sure I'll like it. And hello. You? What? I can't remember. I remember you've been here many times, but I can't remember what your name is. You're doing that just to mess me up. I'm more into earlier Stephen King, Gerald's Game and on, not so much. Yeah, Goblins, he's gone through many different phases. I mean, dude, I like Hearts in Atlantis, Insomnia. Those are also books that, if you've read those, The Dark Tower is a little more, there's a little more meat to it. Again, The Talisman, Black House, Eyes of the Dragon, It, The Stand, Salem's Lot. There's so many that it sounds like a whole, like some sort of project to try to read all this stuff. But again, I've been reading those books throughout the years, so it was easy for me to get into it. And then once I did, I was just like, oh, I love it. So, No Way Home wasn't that great. Oh yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I liked No Way Home a lot. Seeing it in the theater was awesome. I haven't watched it since. So what does that tell you? Well, it just says that you didn't watch it again. That's exactly what it says. But like, I don't know. It just, I mean, it's not that good. So what you're saying is they should replace Tom Holland with Timothée Chalamet? I mean, that would help. Now, I like Tom Holland. Hall Bland. I did like What If Season 1. I liked What If Season 1. I didn't watch the second season. In fact, there's a lot of Disney stuff that I just haven't watched. Disney stuff in general, I haven't watched. I haven't watched X-Men 97. I heard that's really good. Ted says he didn't care for Loki. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Loki was, like, I watched the first season and I was kind of like, okay, cool. And then I watched the second season and I'm like, oh my God. The second season made the first season even better because I could, now going back and watching, because I watched part of season 1 again and I'm like, dude, there's so much depth here that I didn't realize was there. Because it was so over my head with the TVA and the multiple timelines and all this stuff. I loved it though, man. The way that those two seasons together are just a great piece of storytelling. It's like a great offshoot graphic novel. You know what I mean? Like if you've like Batman has tons of graphic novels that aren't in the continuity of what's going on. But they're just great singular stories. And to me, Loki seasons 1 and 2 are like that for me. Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool. Yes. And Rob Liefeld, Liefeld Only Feet, which apparently he can't draw feet or something. But yeah, it was kind of a funny little thing in the Deadpool and Wolverine thing. Dark Tower movie was so disappointing. I bet it was. Young Clint Eastwood could have been Dash Rendar. Yeah. I read Wizarding Glass, but something in 5 made me stop. I don't know. I don't either, Knights of Old, but damn. You know, Dark Tower is one of those that I love it. I love it so much. What was that? Was that that was a weird refresh on the chat there. I don't think it's any, wait a minute. Did it freeze? Okay. That's weird. Late, but made it again. Filbert. Welcome, Filbert. Good to see you, sir. It was so cool seeing that Dark Tower Concordance at one of the half-price books when I was there. Yeah, that's one where I kind of want to read that now that I've read the whole thing. I didn't want to touch it, you know. I mean, not like it would absorb into my... you know, nothing like that. But I don't know. I didn't want to read anything that was like an explanatory thing. I don't know. Maximum Overdrive is fantastic, campy gold. Okay. Watching Under the Dome right now. Never read the book, but enjoying the series right now. I'll tell you what, I tapped out in Under the Dome pretty quickly. Because, I mean, it goes off of the book because it kind of becomes its own thing. I just wasn't a fan. It was one of those where I was like, not for me. Under the Dome was what a read. I was blowing through that. It's a fat ass book too. It's a big ass book. And then I got to the end and I was like, oh. Crap. That wasn't great. But it taught me an important lesson. It taught me that sometimes it's not the destination, it's the journey. Look, people say that all the time and it doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. But for me, that's how I can watch movies like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie that people don't like because of the ending. And just the ending. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes a movie ends poorly. But if you like, okay, Lost is a great example of a series that was so great. Like all the way through it until that final season. And then the final season just was not that good. But I can't say that Lost sucks because I had multiple years of like incredible enjoyment and loving hearing the water cooler talk, with people that I worked with and then listening to the podcast and all the theories and stuff. I loved it. I loved that whole experience. So even though I didn't like the ending, I enjoyed the series for what it was. So there you go. I've officially never read my Under the Dome copy. Looking at that pic, it was $500. Yeesh. What are you talking about, Wraith? Looking at what picture? Oh. What picture? You're talking about that Dark Tower Concordance was $500? What? Because the only thing I took a picture of at Half Price Books was that copy of The Hobbit that was like $1,200 or something crazy. You know what? Wraith, do you remember how much you paid for On Writing? That book at that Texas Outlet or whatever it was called that was kind of like catty corner from the Half Price Books. Do you remember what you paid for that? Game of Thrones, at least they had the source material for Game of Thrones. Yes. But see, that's the thing. Like Game of Thrones, even if you didn't like that last season, I thought the last season was fine. Like I totally bought all the stuff that happened. I get it though. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's, it's not my place to tell you, hey, you should like this or whatever. But that's another case where do you sit there and do you hate all Game of Thrones now because of that? Because I don't. I thought the last season was fine, but it wasn't as good as the rest of the seasons. There's a lot of people that their hatred for it is like way turned up. Me, I'm kind of like, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was good. No big thing. But I wasn't that tied into it either. I wasn't like, oh my God, I stop everything for Game of Thrones. I wasn't that guy. So I get that. But like I said, do you look at Game of Thrones now with this, oh, well, that show sucks because the ending's not great? I don't know. Like me, I can't do that. I think there were parts in Game of Thrones that were amazing. And House of the Dragon, holy crap, that show's great. Oh, it was the Dark Tower Concordance? Okay. War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Great movie. Hate the ending. Okay. So do you think that do you hate the movie though? Like if you rate that movie and you had fun for 95% of it, 90%, whatever, wherever it cuts off for you. Like, $3 for On Writing, and it was a hardback, and mine was 4 for a very very used, very red paperback. So there you go. You got a good buy on that Wraith. Goodbye. Um, Game of Thrones was just rushed. It needed to be longer. Yeah, but see, like, I'm kind of curious. So Martin was involved, right? George R. R. Martin was involved with it. Why didn't he give them an ending? I mean, yeah, he hadn't written the rest of the books, right? They're still not written. So couldn't he have said, this is what I was planning on doing? Or did he even know? I don't know. I don't hate it, but it is tainted still. Knowing how bad it turns out really puts me off. I mean, I get that. I mean, it's kind of like some people say that about Star Wars, that 7, 8, and 9 ruined everything that came before. I don't see it that way. I can enjoy parts of Star Wars. Like, I like, I'll just say the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. I like those first 2 seasons pretty well. And that takes place in the 7, 8, and 9 period. So I'm kind of cool with it. And then, like, I like the prequels more now than I did back then when they came out. I was kind of down on the prequels, but the Clone Wars, I've said it before, but that Clone Wars series gave context to a lot of the prequels, and it made the whole thing richer. And I just love that whole era now, so yeah. I went to one the day after you dropped me off. Oh, you son of a. You said you sent me a picture? Dan Simmons. I see some Dan. Ooh. Ooh, how much is that? Brief History of Time. Easton Press. $250. A Good Omens. Man, there's some bangers in here. What is that? American. I don't know what that is. Lonesome Dove. $500. Signed by Larry McMurtry. The complete. Oh, okay. The complete concordance. Let's see. Yeah, see, the ones that I've seen are the paperbacks of. I'll show this as soon as I finish looking. I can't tell what that is. Man, which half price books was this? There's some good stuff in here. I used to love choose your own adventure books. Yeah, so the Dark Tower is right there on the second shelf on the left, $500. Uh, that Lonesome Dove is how much? $500. I mean, there's just some cool stuff in there. I mean, if you're into books, but again, that's one of those things where it's even like the damn what do you call it? The Easton Press stuff and the Folio Society and all that stuff, and I'm like, I am not spending. Like Folio Society, was it last year or the year before? They came out with a really large, almost like you can see these are the absolute editions of the Sandman. They're huge, right? It was a Lord of the Rings set, but they were like really big with new paintings by Alan Lee, who did concept work for the movies and did a lot of this artwork too. And it was $1,500. And I'm like, I'm sorry. No. No. Because they would literally do nothing but stay on the shelf. I've got digital copies and multiple reading copies of Lord of the Rings. I don't need super expensive and valuable copies of the Lord of the Rings. I don't want that. It's just a weird thing. I don't think of things that way. So like that concordance. is awesome. I would never pay the money for that. Now, if I had a place where, it was perfectly like, and honestly, this room is probably terrible for keeping anything valuable. Anything, because there's the window and it gets hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold in this room because of this computer and all that. So it's hard for me to do that. I know that's it's probably, I don't know. SLC Punk I turn off at the party before the something. I've never seen SLC Punk, so I can't comment on that. I still like the first five seasons, and the Dragon Show is really good. Okay. No, but I don't want to rewatch Game of Thrones anytime soon. I get that too. For me, it really depends on the movie or show. For example, this is Filbert, by the way. For example, I think Doug Walker nails it with a short story. The movie kind of sucks, but the last 3 minutes makes up for it and makes it a great movie. See, that's kind of how that, what is it? Dersu Uzala, the Kurosawa movie I was talking about earlier. It was fine. It was a little slow, but just fine. And then the last 10 minutes was like, wow, this movie really hit me. And Kurosawa was a master at that kind of stuff. So sucks the Song of Ice and Fire series will never get finished. Yeah. Star Wars is different in a lot of ways because it is so segmented. True. Yeah. And there's eras, you know what I mean? But I still, here's 1 through 9, and here's all the stories we've heard are right here. I'm ready to go further out, you know? You don't have to confine yourself to these characters and these, you know what I mean? Like, give us a bounty hunter story not on Tatooine. And give us a bounty hunter story where they don't ever meet or come across any character you've ever heard of. It's a brand new story with a brand new set of characters. And it's one of the things I want to say it was on Robert Meyer Burnett's show. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's like, dude, Star Wars has been treading water since Return of the Jedi. And he even says before, he says ever since Empire Strikes Back, they've been treading water. The same stories, the same kinds of stories, the same feel, everything. Branch out, tell a new story, do something different, you know? And he said Star Trek has been in a rut for years and years too. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. Like I kind of like some of it, but I kind of don't like a lot of it. So I'm kind of like, I can't really call myself a Star Trek fan. But there's some Star Trek that I think is amazing. I would like to see, and it's one of the things that I liked about what they tried to do with The Last Jedi. But the problem is the execution of so much of that movie is just not that great. And then on top of that, it doesn't really connect to anything anymore. Because Rise of Skywalker just kind of like, no, we're not doing that. And it's just a bummer. So I don't know what. The best example to me is Andor. Andor is the only Star Wars thing that has tried to do something different and then does it awesomely. You know? I don't know. Ace. Tom Ace. No, I'm sorry. You probably hate that, but every time I see that, I think of Tom Ace. It just cracks me up. I love Ace Ventura. What can I say? It is Martin's ending. He gave them an outline, but now that people don't like that ending, he doesn't know what to do. Oh, okay. Well, shit. I don't know. Do I watch any booktubers? I do from time to time. Like, I like Daniel Green. I like Murphy Napier. I like, is it Mike's book reviews? Those are the only 3 that I've watched multiple videos of. Like, I think Murphy Napier is fantastic. I think she's great. But she also feels, I feel like she's very, I like these kinds of books, you know what I mean? And uh I like the, is it Mike's book reviews? I can't remember. I haven't watched them in a while. But my problem there is that there seems to be, and it's just like me, you know, I got into where I was reading just a bunch of fantasy there for a while. And then I read Three Body Problem and was like, okay, I need some science fiction. So I like that. And then I read Project Hail Mary and I was like, cool. The next book that I'm going to read after uh Peoples of Middle Earth, Heat 2. So I'm going to read that and see how that is. And then I'm going to start some Brandon Sanderson because I really enjoyed what he did with uh Wheel of Time. So I'd like to see him tackle his own story. Um but yeah, I don't know. Yes, I do, but I don't watch them regularly. How's that? Started Three Body Problem in February, still only halfway through it. I mean, that's a book that, yeah. I mean, I get that. I get that. But it's also one of those where I feel like, did you watch the series? Because I think the series does a better job of getting a lot of those ideas across in a way that's not so engineering like it's Three Body Problem is almost written like a manual or something. There's, the characters are not that memorable, and there's some from what I hear in the future books, he does this thing where he'll introduce a character and you'll spend some time with them, you learn something about the story, and then you never see that person again, and you're like, what, why do we spend so much time with this person? So apparently the creating characters is not the author's strong suit. So that is a problem. I can comment on SLC Punk. Okay, well, I'm still, oh my god, dude, my chat is freaking out. Okay, checking my timeline. That Half Price Books was at MacArthur Park at 750 North MacArthur. Okay, I know where that is. Yeah, I've been to that one plenty of times. It's a good one. My friends and I covered the song Sex and Violence as a warm up for years. So fun. I was on the drums. Oh, there you go. That's cool. I look at IPs like I look at something as big and long as Warhammer 40K. A lot of it I love, some I dislike, some I'm meh. When stuff has a long history and eras, it makes it easier to segment off. Yeah, and Star Wars is one of those where, you know, like I have a feeling that some people are going to look at Deadpool and Wolverine and say, okay, see, you're doing a rated R, really dirty, foul mouthed Marvel movie. Why couldn't you do something like that with Star Wars? And I guess my thing is that Star Wars doesn't need to be dirty or violent in order to be cool. It just has to be a good story. Tell me a good story. That's all I care about. And so, I don't know. That is hard to do in a single movie or TV series all done back to back. I mean, yes. Still bummed out the Star Wars Underworld series fell through. I was really excited about that. Underworld. Not sure what that was or is. There are a ton of Clone Wars episodes that tell different types of stories than any that had come before. True, but I'm talking about something, because let's be honest, the Clone Wars is not the. I mean, Bucho, you love when I'm being honest. The Clone Wars is not exactly wide reaching. It's not mainstream. You know, your typical Star Wars fan, I would say, like if you just roughly ran into 5 people that's, hey, have you seen Star Wars? Yeah, I've seen Star Wars. I like it. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, what did you think about the whatever episode in Clone Wars? They'd go, what? Most people don't know Clone Wars. You know what I mean? So I don't really feel like that super counts. I get your point, but I would like to see them do something radically different, where everything, not just an episode or two or a group of them, but the whole series or the whole story is something that's really different. That's what I would like to see. Nah, first time hearing that, but glad I make you laugh, dude. Every time, man. Every time I see it. Tom Ace. Come on. Come on, man. It's great. Not everything in the old EU was great, but I still like it better than the new stuff they did. The whole new Jedi Order series was great. Brought in an alien race from another galaxy. See, that's the thing is a lot of I've explained that. Man, after the Thrawn trilogy, it kind of soured me on the EU, like completely, because I felt like it didn't, and especially hearing that Lucas himself wasn't going to be tied to it, and he's like, I don't care what they do. For me, it was like, that is not what I'm in this for. I don't want to read somebody else's idea about something in Star Wars. I want to hear George Lucas's. So I was a very George Lucas purist in that sense, which again probably means that I missed out on some good stories. But and there were moments in the Thrawn trilogy that I liked, but for the most part, I just felt it was so fan fiction-y. Yeah. Like episodes that were straight up Hitchcock tributes. Absolutely. Mike's book reviews, yeah. They could not be felt in the Force. Not be felt in the Force. They could not be felt in the Force. I'm not sure what that is. Also, seeing the Ministry of Angelian Warfare today was a fun popcorn movie. If you watch the trailer, you get what you expect. That's what I said. And I said, it's fine. And somebody got mad at me for saying that. Like, what? Did you not see the movie? Yeah, watch the movie. Watch the movie and tell me that in 2 days, you will remember everything that happened. Because that's a movie that's like, oh, this is fun. And then you'd never think about it again. That's what that movie is. I'm sorry. Or that trippy 4-episode arc with the droids on that weird featureless planet. Therefore, I reject Burnett's claim. You're wrong. Okay? You're wrong, Bucho. Okay? With your look at me, I'm a Kiwi, I'm from New Zealand, look at me, I have an accent that girls just go crazy over. Oh, look at me, I'm Bucho. You're wrong. Okay? Look, I'm talking about the whole thing. I want the whole thing. The whole story set somewhere completely different and not attached to the Skywalkers, not attached to Boba Fett or Jango Fett or Jabba the Hutt or any of them. You know? I don't need it. Any UFO talk tonight. You know, Carbonite, I've been thinking about that. The UFO talk is kind of annoying right now because we're talking in circles. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of new, and there's a lot of speculation. There's just not a whole lot of substance to talk about. And I feel like, especially like from my end, when I'm reading some of this stuff, the UFO stuff, I get to the point where I'm just like, okay, I can't read anymore. Because here's the thing. Nobody knows. I want official. It's kind of like the way that I look at, it's funny. I said, how about that Deadpool and Wolverine? That's my title for my stream. And we talked about it for what, 5 minutes? That's the way Order 42 go. But yeah, it's so frustrating because I feel like we're on the precipice of some really amazing stuff going to happen, and it keeps getting shut down, or this guy's not going to talk, or this guy's going off and doing something different now. I mean, how many times did they say, oh, just wait till January 2024? Still waiting. It's in April, and I'm going to move on and think about things that, you know, I have some substance. To me, it's just like, you know, talking about what's going to happen in this next movie or whatever, you know? It's like, I don't care because I know that whatever I come up with is not going to be in the movie. So it doesn't matter. Even though sometimes it's fun to speculate, I feel like the fun has been had, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm tired. Just give me the deets. I need the deets. Anybody notice that I didn't have any tea tonight? Yeah, I had went and had Chick-fil-A. I had a Coke Zero at Chick-fil-A. And yeah, so I didn't have any tea tonight. But the Coke Zero has kept me going. Robert Meyer Burnett was wrong about Star Wars being in trouble since Empire. He forgot about the Ewok movies. Oh man, Caravan of Courage and the Battle of Wicket's Butt. I don't know. Did you hear about Warwick Davis's wife? Man, that sucks. I didn't want to bring it up because it's like I don't know anything about it, but other than I heard she died, and that sucks. So yeah, Warwick Davis. She was real young too, 52, I think. That just sucks, man. The Kona Blue stuff came out last week. Alien stuff. Kona Blue. I don't know what that is. Vinny C, that who I be. Oh my God. I didn't even know you were here. And this isn't Minecraft. We don't do the Minecraft thing over here. But welcome, Vinny C. Actually, we did. We have done a couple of Minecraft streams, didn't we? Way back? Back in the day? Back in the day when everyone was there. Yeah. But good to see you, Vinny C. The books are very Chinese from what I've heard. Oh, I mean, it's more about there's the guy's like an engineer or something, right? Some sort of scientist. He doesn't know how to write characters. So his characters are very bland. So it's hard to get through. But I had the audiobook going. And of course, the audiobook, if you got the audiobook going, you just keep going, and you don't stop until, oh, it's time to go to bed. And then you stop for the day and you can get back into it and you just go. But the concepts were so interesting that, I mean, I get why some people can't get through it, but I got through it with the help of an audiobook. So RMB forgot about the glory of Solo. I mean, look, okay, Carbonite, you're probably saying that to get Melvor all bent out of shape, but in a way I agree with what he's saying, is because it's like it feels like we're treading the same ground, and that's just like that's frustrating, so I'm I don't know. The bland characterization in the first 3 Body Problem book is why I chucked it and read the plot on Wiki. There you go. Big Dog Bucho. Laura's empty if you don't tie it to characters who feel human. I mean, you're right. You're right, Bucho. But man, those concepts though. Like, holy crap, Underworld was supposed to deal with the seedy underbelly of Coruscant with a bunch of one-off episodes focusing on minor side characters. Got canceled when Disney bought Lucasfilm. Wait a minute. Underworld, wasn't that the thing that they filmed like pilot? They filmed some test footage. And it was like even Rick McCallum was involved. And there was footage that they showed, or not showed, but I don't know if it got leaked or whatever, but I just remember seeing footage of something like that, and it was going to be like on ABC or something. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. There's that guy who killed a blue alien. Oh, UFO stuff. Yeah, but man, give me some freaking meat. When it comes to UFO stuff, give me the meat. I'm tired of the scraps. Give me the main course, man. Or at least, like, did you watch Jesse Michaels? Was on Christian Harloff's channel today. Did an interview with Christian Harloff. That was actually pretty entertaining. And kind of interesting. But it's still one of those where I'm like, okay, I like getting onto that stuff like once a week, and then just kind of the rest of the time I'm doing my own thing. I'm watching movies or writing the script, whatever. That's where I feel like my energy is better focused. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. The Jedi Academy trilogy was cool. Luke starting a new order, Han a prisoner in the Kessel Mines, a Death Star prototype, and the Sun Crusher. The Sun Crusher. No, I'm sure there was some great stories in there that I missed out on. I mean, I read a few. I remember I read Kenobi, where he has to he teams up with the Tusken Raiders or something. I can't remember. All I remember is it was good, and then when I saw Obi-Wan the series, I was kind of like, oh. Did you see the Tucker Carlson interview on Joe Rogan? Tucker thinks it's more supernatural than Alien. Yeah, but he's also... Look, I'm not going to say anything bad about somebody trying to figure out what the alien or what the UFO thing is, okay? But I don't think it's supernatural. I don't think they're demons or ghosts or anything like that. I think it's much more possible and plausible that they are a species on this planet that have been here living with us for millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years, whatever you want to say, and we just don't know about them. That makes much more sense to me than demons. But then again, what if demons and gods and all that stuff are the star people? You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like one of those things where, yeah, you could probably say that, but look, I've watched some Tucker Carlson. I'm not a political dude, okay? And Tucker Carlson seems like one of those guys that's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just not my... I'm just not a Tucker Carlson guy. And no, I didn't watch it on Joe Rogan. But anyway, I was into a lot of that back in 2005, 2006 and heard that same It's Coming. Came to the conclusion all those people are just grifters. I mean, Philbert, you're not wrong. And that's the problem, is that now there's so many people talking that it's hard to know who's the grifter and who's the soothsayer. You know, the one that says sooth. Say the sooth, man. There's a lot of that, you know? Oh, that sucks. What? What sucks? Sorry. I'm behind again. The concepts are fun, but that's my point. Those concepts are all on Wikipedia, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. The 3-body problem, yeah. Do I like Buckaroo Banzai? Banzai? Buckaroo Banzai. Knights of Old. That is one that I've never seen. But I will say, with my track record, look at my track record. Not a huge fan of this. I'm not a huge fan of Conan. I'm not a huge fan of Battle Beyond the Stars. I'm not a huge fan of Flash Gordon. Just seeing the trailers and things, I'm kind of like, it's probably not going to be for me. But I would like to see it. I would like to see it. I wonder if it's streaming anywhere. I'll give it a shot. I mean, why not? Are too many people, cameras, etc. If stuff was there, we would have meat. It's always just someone saying BS to get ears and promising it's right around the corner. I mean, Filbert, yeah. But here's the other thing too. Then this is a recent thing. I drove past a car with a huge fire. Huge. Like, huge. You know what I mean? Huge. Huge. You know what I'm saying? Drive past it. I didn't even think about getting my phone because it was awesome. I mean, it was dangerous. It was scary. It sucks for the person that was going through it. I didn't even think to get my camera out until I was already past it. And I finally took a picture of it through my wife's rear view mirror or rear window. And it was a shitty picture. You couldn't really see much. So it's one of those things where I can understand somebody, seeing something and going, oh my God, and then completely forgetting to film it. I completely get that, but there's plenty of other people that always have their phone out and are always filming shit. I don't know. And there's a lot of it looks like balloons. Balloons. Yeah, balloons. Hey, you got some of them alien balloons there, you prick? Yeah. I feel like a lot of them are just regular shit. They're not anything crazy. But it's so intriguing to me. It's like, oh man, I want to know so bad, but I get tired of reading the same thing. It's the, oh well, just wait until the thing happens. And I'm like, okay, well, when's it gonna be? Well, it's gonna be next week. And the next week rolls around and they go, well, something happened and we couldn't do it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, come on, man. Just give me the thing. But they don't give me the thing. I gotta go. My voice is almost out. You try talking for 3 hours. Come on. Like y'all are all yelling at me. Hey, stay on. Well, Bucho usually does. He's all like, oh, well, only 5 more hours you can get off. No. Since Disney owns it, is it possible to make a Predator a Sith? Yeah, but I don't need that. That's better for comics, for them to do side crap like that. I don't want to. I don't need to see that. But then again, I probably would have said the same thing about Aliens versus Predator. And oh well, wait a minute, I was right. They shouldn't have made those movies because they're pupe. Yeah, Vinny, you still here? Probably not. But if you are, and Filbert, of course, pupe. Underworld was going to be a game and a TV show before GL decided to sell to Disney. Yeah, and I think that's what that was. Some of that footage that I saw. That's an idea. Jedi versus Predator. I mean, it could be. I just want to bid for 220 plus Magic the Gathering life counters for $20. Going to talk to my local game store to selling them. Awesome. Okay, guys, I gotta get going. But let's get caught up and then we're gonna go. So please let me get caught up. He considers that supernatural if they're here on Earth and we don't know about it. Well, yeah. Tucker Carlson also doesn't believe in evolution. I mean, Jedi versus Xenomorph. Wraith is one of the worst at coming up with something that makes me go, oh. And then I'm like, I gotta go, man. He does it right at the end, like some kind of, I don't know, topic ninja comes out of the dark and is like, hasn't been proven. We have no idea why our brains grew so fast. Look, and Ted, you're right. There are things in the fossil record that just don't make sense. Like, were we put here? Are we a hybrid of something else? Where we started? Is this just like an ant farm, but it's humans? Who knows? Oh, some of the aliens look like humans. Is that because we're like their children and God the Father, right? All that kind of stuff. Are they literally our ancestors or some sort of genealogical tie-in? And they put us here like an ant farm? I mean, who knows? That would explain, hey, let's give them free power. The pyramids that are supposed to be like Tesla's thing, right? Power the entire planet. I don't know. But again, that's speculation. We don't know anything. We're just guessing. And that's where it gets frustrating and where I start to go, it's like quantum physics. I got a book years ago. In fact, it's probably boxed up somewhere. I bought a book. I said, okay, I'm going to figure out this whole quantum physics thing. I started reading it and I'm going, this is all bullshit. And you know why? Because none of it can be proven. And I can't verify it. So what's the point? That's why I got irritated with politics, because I'm like, okay, this guy says this guy says this. I agree with that, but he wants to punch baby kids in the face. This guy, I really agree with this, but then he wants to poop on things. So it's like, I'm just, whatever. What I'm trying to say is nobody's perfect. So then politics just, none of it works. It doesn't matter. There's idiots on both sides. There's smart people on both sides, but there's smart people with really bad ideas. And politics is like, hate it. So quantum physics was like that for me too. So this is quickly becoming that for me, where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to hear anymore, because now you're just frustrating me to the point where I'm like, Mm-mm. But see, the guy said that he punched a blue alien in the face. Well, I don't give a crap because are his fingers blue? Does he have blue fingers? No? Well, then, you know what I'm saying. ET's in the universe, so it's possible. See, I keep going off on these tangents, and this is where I get in trouble. ET's in the universe, so it's possible it can be one with the Force. True. Vinny C. I mean, those videos and other equipment record something, though. What is that something? Some physics anomaly we don't know about? Something is picked up on the equipment. Yeah, see, that's the thing. For me, for me, I know I personally I want to believe. I still interested in it all, but I went from believer to huge skeptic in both aliens and paranormal. Yeah, and see, I'm the kind of guy that now it's no longer I want to believe. For me, it's I want to know. So I don't want to speculate. Or I don't it's fine people want to speculate. But I'm the kind of person now where I'm getting to that point where I'm like, okay, y'all are all you're frustrating me. Give me some hard data or I'm out. You know? If you're not willing to be open to new ideas and thumbs are getting tired. If you're not willing to be open to new ideas and cling to the things you think you know, you're not doing science. Right, but the thing is, Ted, I can't do science when it comes to UAPs. Are they going to let me on at the base and let me look at the ship or the materials or any of that stuff? I'm not trained for that. Why would they train me for that? Why would they take me? They're not going to pick me. So at this point, there's not anything I can do about it. I can't force the situation. I can't go to Congress and go, hey, you guys need to tell those CIA bastards to let you talk about the thing. Well, we can't. Okay, what now? Now I'm just spinning my wheels. And at that point, when do you start to become this? Well, you know what? I really want to keep doing this, but what do I do to keep doing it? Well, the only way I can do that is to try to monetize this thing. What can we do? Can we try to help further the cause? But I can actually make a little scratch so I can pay my light bill. You know what I'm saying? So that's at that point, I understand where the grifter thing kind of comes in because they're bringing in some money on this thing too. But I understand it. If you're really passionate about it, you want to try to fuel that. But yeah, for me, I don't need to do that. Good night. Hope to catch more of these earlier. Today was Anna's birthday, so out doing here. Oh, Filbert, thank you. Thank you for just hanging out. I went a little longer than I expected to, but thank you, man. I get my noise all up in that pupe. Yes, exactly. All up in that pupe. They did Archie versus Predator. Why not? Oh, yeah. Camera phones are not that great for zooming in on objects. Trying zooming in a high-flying airliner and take a pic, it will look like garbage. Absolutely. That's another point. It's an absolutely good point. Keep typing fast. I want them to take another crack at Alien vs. Predator, but much better director and story and characters. How about the one that they did in the comics? Because it's so much better than anything they did. And then Melbourne. Shut up, Billy. Good debate between Hancock and an archaeologist on Rogan. It was interesting. Yeah, was that was it Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson? Was that the one? I heard it. Buchos talked about that one at one point, but I never watched it. Indiana Jones Goonies. Just kidding. RoboCop versus Terminator. Where is it? That would be a tough one because RoboCop is... Who owns RoboCop now? It was Orion Pictures, but that was... Terminator's Fox, right? Is it Fox? I don't know, Wraith. Hancock is the bane of my existence. Got me into all of it, but I think he's the worst pseudo-archaeologist ever. Yeah, that's what I heard. The double slit experiment can be proven, though. That's man, talk about weird shit. That double slit thing. Did I watch the latest Y-Files? I watch every Y-Files. Every Y-Files. Yes, I did watch it about free energy. Yes. What is light if you can answer that you can unlock the secrets of the universe? It's crazy. That was a perfect explanation. You pinpointed how I feel about politics. Yeah, and it's just like it's like again, it goes back to war games, man. 1983, Matthew Broderick, freaking Ali Sheedy and Dabney Coleman, you know? The only winning move is not to play. They are playing a game with our feelings. Oh, you have this illusion that you have any say in what's going to happen. You don't. Because we're not dealt into the game. The game is being played way outside of our, it's kind of like you go to Vegas, right? You say, "Hey, I want to play some high stakes poker." Okay. Here you go. Here's the $50 blinds table, right? And you're like, "No, I want to play at the big boy table." We don't know who the fuck you are. So you're not allowed at the big boy table where, the big, the crazy, big guys who throw down, thousands of dollars on no, you can't play in that game. You're not allowed to play in that game. That is exactly American politics. In fact, it's probably all politics. That's what it is. So in that case, at what point do you go, why am I wasting my time worrying about it when I can't even play in the game? What I say doesn't matter to them, but that's just, that's just my opinion. I gotta go. Double slit sounds like Jay's mom. And I do the hand thing. Yes. I love the Y-Files. Great stream, Rob. You all have a great night. Had the rest of that waiting for the end. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Rufus. Thank you, all of you. I mean, this was a fantastic stream, and I'll tell you, I was worried that we were going to be done at like 8:30. And sorry, Vinny C. I will tell you this, man. I've been watching, I've been watching Game Dave for a long time. Okay. I love Game Dave. He's like a brother to me. Love that guy, right? I love his stream. His stream is so much fun. I wish I could play sound effects at random that you guys just play in the chat. I would love to do that. It doesn't work on YouTube. That's a bunch of BS, as they say. Hall and Diecast. Oh my God. This is Jerry, everybody. You've heard him in the Switched On clips. Stop saying you gotta go. I know I gotta go. But yes, good to see you, man. It's good to see you. And by the way, we've posted in the Discord Jerry's release. In fact, I don't know if it's the new release. Jerry, you ought to send me a link so I can put it in the Discord. You know what I mean? You should do that. So I can put it in the Discord. They can at least listen. Take a listen at the Jerry doing the keyboard stuff. This is what he looks like when he plays. He's all like, he doesn't look like that. He looks much cooler than that. It's all there. Okay. Good. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Come on, Streamlabs. I see it. I'm just going to say it. Not Gary. Thank you so much. You are so kind. Oh, Sarah next Monday and Calibrate May 6th. All right. Come on, Not Gary. Come on, Streamlabs. Wake up. Why does Streamlabs suck so bad? But thank you, Not Gary. I appreciate it. But look, here's the thing. If we keep saying stuff, Rob will keep reading and this will never end. Oh, I know that's how it works. But here's the thing, guys. Thank you. Thank you again for hanging out. It was such a fun stream. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. I've been talking for 3.5 hours now, and it's tough. It's tough to talk for 3.5 hours straight. Jerry and I, and Brian, the captain, we called him the captain. We did 20 hours. 20-hour recording. That was something else. So, you missed my Musk? Mr. Musk. Anyway, guys, look, hey, have a good one, man. Come on, Streamlabs, come on. I want to play it. Play it. I want to see me as Qui-Gon. Look, I'm just gonna do this because this will Okay, it's not even loading now. Streamlabs isn't even loading. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so there's the hello there. That should force it. I licked and subbed. I know what I typed. Vinny C. Come on, go through. I hate it. I hate that they don't do that. Man, freaking Streamlabs sucks. Keep your eyes on the skies and camera at the ready. There's that too. But look, thank you, Not Gary, for that $10 super chat. I appreciate that so much. I'm sorry that the Streamlabs is stupid. More like Cream Labs, am I right? Anyway, you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week. And remember, Friday, Alien. 4/26, baby. Alien in the theater. I like them titties. I just read things. I'm like what's his name? In the Anchorman. Bye, guys.